Detroit Tigers and Dennis Martinez for the Orioles. And the Tiger batting order reads as follows. Ron LaFleur will be the leadoff batter and play center field. Batting number 2, Lou Whitaker, the second baseman. Number 3, designated hitter Rusty Scott. Batting 4 at first base, Jason Thompson. The number 5 hitter, the left fielder for Detroit, Steve Kemp. Number 6 batter and the catcher of the first game will be Milt May for Detroit. Batting 7 in right field, Tim Corcoran. The number 8 hitter, third baseman Phil Mankowski, and the shortstop, Alan Trammell. For the Orioles, one of the heroes of last night's brilliant 2-0 win over the Tigers, Larry Harlow will lead off. He'll again be in center field. Belanger will be the shortstop, batting number 2. In the number 3 spot, the left fielder, Pat Kelly. Batting 4 in right field, Ken Singleton. The number 5 batter, the first baseman, Eddie Murray. In the number 6 spot at second base again, Doug DeCense. Batting 7, designated hitter, Terry Crowley. Batting 8, the third baseman, Rich Dower. Batting 9 and catching the opening game of the doubleheader will be Dave Skaggs. The umpires for this series against the Tigers, in the opening game at the plate on balls and strikes, Dick Voltaggio. At first base, Nestor Shylock. At second base, Ron Luciano. And at third base, it'll be Rich Garcia. The Orioles against the Tigers in a twilighter here at the stadium tonight. And the weather just momentarily looks so much better than it has all day long. I don't know what the forecast is for long range, but apparently the showers that we had throughout the afternoon perhaps are a thing of the past, but you can probably still count on getting another little sprinkle or two before the evening is over. But a vast improvement in the weather for the Orioles doubleheader against Detroit. In the second game of the doubleheader tonight, it'll be Jim Palmer against Bob Sykes. A couple of games were played this afternoon in the National League. The Cincinnati Reds came up with a 3-run last half of the 8th inning to beat Atlanta 5-4. Sarmiento got the win, and Adrian Devine the loser. Again, the final, Cincinnati 5, Atlanta 4. The Chicago Cubs scored 2 in the bottom of the 10th inning for a 6-4 win over the Philadelphia Phillies. Chicago 6-10-0, the Phillies 4-10-0. The winner is Sutter, and the loser is Garber. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with pride, here is our national anthem. With the start of tonight's first game right after this message.
Good friends, good sports, and great pride. There's nothing better than good friends, good sports, and great pride. So why not put it all together with a better idea, guys? There's nothing like Orioles, good sports, and great pride.
And
And here's some great buys from your Ford dealer. 3 '78 Ford sticker priced under $3,650. The exciting new Fairmont, Mustang 2, and Pinto. That's right, each is sticker priced under $3,650, excluding title, taxes, and destination charges. That's a great buy times 3. Take a test drive today. The '78 Fairmont, Mustang 2, or Pinto. 3 good reasons we say economy starts at your local Ford dealer.
There's nothing like Ford dealer, good Ford, and great buys.
Well, Dennis Martinez, 3 wins and 2 defeats, finding victory number 4 most elusive. Tonight, he will make his 5th try to win his 4th game. The last time that Martinez won a ball game was May the 2nd when he defeated the Boston Red Sox. Since then, he has had 3 no decisions and a loss to show for his efforts, and I'm sure you recall that a couple of times he has had a lead and the Orioles were not able to hold it. Before the action begins, we'll pause for a station break. This is the Oriole Baseball Network.
WB. This is WEAF Arlington.
Well, Ron LaFleur steps in, and they're turning the lights on. I don't know whether they're going to wait for all of the standards to become operative, or whether they say they're going to play. So baseball will start. LaFleur steps in. They'll wait for the lights to warm up, and with pleasure, here is Bill O'Donnell.
Thank you, Chuck, and good evening, everybody. Dennis Martinez now gets the ball game underway with strike 1 called. To the Tiger leadoff man, he's their center fielder, Ron LaFleur. He had the last base hit off the left-hander last night, Flanagan. Here's the next delivery. It's a breaking ball, though. 1 ball and 1 strike. Only LaFleur and Staub had base hits last night against Flanagan, and both are in the attack for the Tigers today, and both will bat here in the opening inning. Whitaker's on deck, and then Staub is right behind him. LaFleur enters this game batting at .276, and Martinez is about to cut loose the 1-1 pitch, and here it comes. It is inside under the belt line. 2 balls and 1 strike. In the opener, Dave Skaggs is catching Martinez, surrounded by the Oriole infield of Murray DeCinces, Belanger, plus Dower. The 2-1, LaFleur fouls it off the end of the bat right down on the screen, and it's 2-2 now. Martinez, 3 wins, 2 losses on the year. This is start number 11 of the campaign, and Dennis has had a lot of trouble completing his start. He's only gone the route 1 time. His next pitch to LaFleur. Strike 3 called. That was on the outside corner and just under the belt line. LaFleur is out number 1 of the evening, and here is second baseman Lou Whitaker. This kid is but 21 years of age. Houck of late has been platooning Whitaker against right-hand pitching with Steve Dillard, who's going against left-hand pitching. Dillard played last night, and Whitaker's in the attack tonight. Outside to Lou Whitaker, and ball 1. He's batting at a robust .352. Came right up the Tiger farm chain. A 1-0 by Dennis Martinez is fouled back. The pitch was kind of high. 1 ball and 1 strike to Whitaker. Now, the Tiger Ball Club has not beaten the Orioles in this park since late July of 1976. In fact, the Tigers have dropped 11 games in a row here. 1-1 to Whitaker. Runs up to bunt. Offers and doesn't get it, and he's behind 1-2. He was trying to push that bunt towards third base. Whitaker was with the Montgomery Club last year, and in 107 games, he batted .280. The windup and the next delivery is a breaking ball chopped back to the mound, pulled down on the wrist slope by Martinez. He throws in time to get Whitaker by 2 steps. It was an easy chopper, too high for Martinez to take in the follow-through area. He had a back to the rear of the mound as he got it. 2 gone to bring up Rusty Staub. He had the first hit last night off Flanagan, and that was kind of a splashing, looping base hit to shallow center field. Rusty batting at .282. As he was last night, he's the Tiger DH in this game. 2 gone, bases empty. A fastball thrown hard and high, and ball 1 to the left-hand batter. Staub with 4 homers and 30 runs batted in. Martinez has picked up the sign and whips in the 1-0. He breaks it in for a strike at Staub's knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Our game time temperatures a very comfortable 68 degrees. and the sun trying its level best to sneak through some overcast clouds. The 1-1 to Staub takes high, 2-1, and a bit outside. Vic Voltaggio is the ball strike man in this first game. Nestor Shylock will be the ball strike man in game 2, and he's in first base in this game. 2-1 to Staub. Breaking ball, he lines towards center field. It drops in front of Harlow and dives, and it's a base hit with 2 out for Staub. He had a 2-out base hit last night in the opening inning. And then Flanagan got Jason Thompson on strikes for the last out. And here comes that same fellow, Jason Thompson. Thompson did not have a good evening against the left-hander Flanagan, hoping for a better night against the right-hander Martinez. Thompson was 0 for 3 against Flanagan, and twice he struck out. But he still has a real good-looking average of 307, with 11 home runs to lead the Tigers, plus 27 RBIs. Staub with an edge at first base. Here's a check that way by Martinez, and his delivery is at the knees for a call. Strike 1 to Jason Thompson.
The starting lineup, the Tuesday is at second base, not third base.
Into this ball game tonight, Dennis has pitched in 64 innings, and he has been tagged for better than 1 hit an inning. He's given up 70 in all. Now, Staub has a short lead at first base. He goes out a couple of more inches. The 0-1 pitch fouled on the ground over towards the on-deck area where Kemp is waiting. So it's quite an edge now for Dennis with an 0-2 count to Jason Thompson. Thompson at the moment is way ahead of his home run pace of a year ago. In 158 Tiger games last year, he hit 31 home runs and drove in 105. Just a great season for the young fella. 0-2 pitch. His strike 3 called. A fastball at the knees, and there's no complaint from Thompson. No runs, a base hit, and a man left. After 1/2 inning, Detroit nothing. And the Orioles are coming up.
With so many makes, models, styles, and colors, it's like a used car factory. My name's Dave Kellogg, and if you haven't already guessed, the used car place is Ray and Lynn's Belvoir AMC Jeep. Call 780-3000 and ask about their factory prices on used cars. Ray and Lynn's Belvoir AMC Jeep, a mile north of Fort Belvoir on Route 1.
Say, sports fans, stay tuned to the station, 139 William, for some of the best music in Virginia, Maryland, and D.C. Yes, put it all together, and you'll be listening to some of the best music in the nation's capital. So anytime and every time you hear the Baltimore Orioles baseball, remember, stay tuned right here after the game. You'll get some of the best music in Virginia, Maryland, and D.C. It all happens right here on 139 William.
Well, Jim Slayton, right-hander, 4 wins, 1 loss, makes the club-leading 9th start in as many appearances tonight. He has a 2-1 record against the Orioles last year. Came down from Milwaukee when Ogilvie went up to the Brewers from the Detroit Tigers. And if you're an Oriole fan, I'm sure you've had many great thrills and a lot of fond memories of baseball in this park. Coming to the plate to start the bottom of the first is the young man who gave us one of the big thrills of 78 last night, Larry Harlow. And to tell you about it, Bill O'Donnell. Bill? All right, and Harlow with a bat, also a pretty decent night last evening in the victory over the Tigers. He has raised his average now to 323 as he picked up 2 hits last night in 4 trips. Jim Slayton, former Milwaukee right-hander, and deals inside of the knees to Harlow and ball 1. Slayton for the Tigers in his first Detroit campaign, 4 wins and 1 loss. Slayton kicks, and here's the 1-0 pitch. It is under the knees, 2 balls and no strikes. 27-year-older Jim Slayton, and even 6 feet tall, 180 pounds. With the Brewers last year, he won 10, but dropped 14. The 2-0 pitch is a strike for Slayton. I tell you, if you wanted to have a friendly discussion, or maybe even a different kind, you should have stopped at a watering hole last night on York Road and discussed Harlow versus Paul Blair. 2-1. Here's a foul straight back, and it might make the press section. 2-2. There were a number of people that stopped at a friendly watering hole on out of York Road last night saying things like, well, Blair could have caught that, or somebody else saying, Harlow made the catch that Blair could never have made. But at least they were talking baseball, and there were no fights and no blood. Here's the next pitch to Harlow. He runs up to bunt, changes his mind, the pitch was too low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. One thing is for certain, despite the arguments that might have gone on last night, like Harlow versus Blair, and what one could have done and the other could not have done, the catch that Harlow made last night was the most sensational of the season. Pitch is way inside, and Harlow has drawn the leadoff walk. So the Hawk gets on the 3-2 pitch to bring up Mark Belanger, 1 for 3 last night, and batting currently at 2.50. With Milwaukee last year against the Orioles, Clayton was 2-1. Career-wise against the Orioles, he is 7-9. A lead by Harlow, the look by Clayton, and his pitch is kind of up and in ball 1 to Mark Belanger. Clayton lost his first Tiger start this year, and since that time has ripped off 4 wins in a row. Clayton setting, belt line high, still setting. And now Harlow takes off. The pitch is chopped to the right side, charged by the second baseman, bobbles the ball, recovers, and throws late, and it also comes out of the mid of Thompson. Second baseman Whitaker charged the slow ground chopper right back of the grass. He got handcuffed on the ground ball. It came off the heel of the glove, bounced in front of him. He did pick it up, did throw, but the throw was late. And Belanger's safe on the air. Harlow was running on the swing of Belanger, and Harlow's at second. So the Orioles now building a bit of an early storm in the ballgame. 2 on and nobody out to bring up Pat Kelly. Hitless last night against Dillingham, but Pat's average is still way up at 3.33. Well, let's see if they have Kelly now up there in order to lay it down and try to advance Harlow and Belanger a base apiece. He does bunt between the third base foul line and the mound. Picked up by Clayton. He throws in time to first base. They get Kelly, but what a great sacrifice bunt Kelly laid down. It sends Harlow to third, Belanger to second, first base open with 1 out, and Ken singled into the plate. Kelly sacrifice bunt, tossed out the pitcher's Clayton to the first baseman, Thompson. Ken Singleton got collared last night. He went 0 for 3. But like Kelly, who also got collared, Ken's average is still mighty strong. 3.26 for Ken Singleton. Ken now trying to get in at least 1 runner and maybe both. He has to go way out of the way on a pitch down around his 2 top. That was a hard breaking ball, and he had to jump right out of the way. 1 ball, no strikes to Singleton. Off third base comes Harlow. Leading at second base, Belanger. And with 1 out lead. Full windup by Clayton. And he has a strike called. 1 ball and 1 strike. This is only the first game of the twilight doubleheader. Palmer and Sykes to match up in the nightcap. Now it's Clayton matched up with Singleton, who takes a bender for a strike. 1 and 2. Clayton changes speeds a lot. The Tigers got him off season for outfielder Ben Ogilvy. The lead by the 2 runners with 1 out. A quick look to third, and then comes Clayton 1 and 2. His changeup is low, and it's ball 2 and strike 2. Starting action tonight in the American League East, at least. It's the Tigers, the Red Sox, the Yankees, Milwaukee, the Indians, the Orioles, and then Toronto. In the West, Oakland leads the Angels by just 1 game now. 2-2 pitch to Singleton. He swings and stays alive at the foul tip right at the feet of the catcher, Milt May. Oakland lost last night while the Angels won. Oakland and the Angels both have the same number of setbacks, but Oakland has 2 more wins to lead California by a full game. 2-2 again to Singleton. Change-up is inside, knocked down also by Milt May, and the count is full. So Clayton had Ken Singleton kind of frying in the pan behind 1 ball and 2 strikes, and now it's 3 and 2. Murray is on deck. First base is open, with second and third occupied by Belanger and Harlow. Singleton begins to measure now the inside part of the plate. for the 3-2 pitch by Clayton, and he swings and strikes out at an off-speed breaking ball. He is out number 2. He is strikeout number 1 for the 27-year-old Clayton to bring on first baseman Eddie Murray. Murray was 0 for 3 last night. He is batting .265. Murray, before digging in, kind of gardening the front part of the box. And don't forget, we not only have a second game to the Tiger-Oriole doubleheader tonight, but we also have a single game tomorrow night. First one to Murray is a changeup, and it's a strike for the right-hander. No balls and 1 strike. When this fellow was with the Milwaukee staff, there were many who looked upon Clayton as the Brewer stopper. The 0-1 pitch to the switch hitter. A breaking ball slashed on the ground at the second baseman. Whitaker is up with it, throws in time, and that's the last out. And Clayton comes out of a big first-inning hole. No runs, no hits. A Tiger era, and 2 are left. After 1 inning of play, Baltimore nothing, Detroit nothing.
Recognize that sound? It's the sound of the Washington area's used car sales depot. With so many makes, models, styles, and colors, it's like a used car factory. My name's Dave Kellogg, and if you haven't already guessed, the used car place is Ray and Mintz Belvoir AMC Jeep. Call 780-3000 and ask about their factory prices on used cars. Ray and Mintz Belvoir AMC Jeep, a mile north of Fort Belvoir on Route 1.
Say, sports fans, stay tuned to this station, 13.9 William, for some of the best music in Virginia, Maryland, and D.C. Yes, put it all together, and you'll be listening to some of the best music in the nation's capital. So anytime and every time you hear the Baltimore Orioles baseball, remember, stay tuned right here after the game. You'll get some of the best music in Virginia, Maryland, and D.C. It all happens right here on 13.9 William.
Number 33.
The Orioles will play the Tigers, the Twinighters, tonight and wind up the series against the Bengals tomorrow night with a single game featuring Scott McGregor. And then Friday night, the Orioles will have jacket night here at the ballpark with the Cleveland Indians coming in, and we'll give you all details on that in the course of our broadcast tonight.
All right, Chuck, here's another one of the young Tigers, and it's the left fielder, Steve Kemp. And Martinez goes under the knees, and ball 1 to Kemp, who was 0 for 3 last night against Flanagan. Kemp batting .289 and takes some real strong cuts. He lays off that pitch, and it's down, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. We have no score in our first game. We've just gone by the first inning of play. The 2-0 to the left-hand batter. It's low again, and another ball. Martinez finds himself way behind now, 3-0. Milt May and Tim Corcoran will bat after Kemp in the Tigers' second inning. 3-0 to Kemp. Takes, that's a strike, 3-1. Kemp played around the pull towards right center by Harlow and around to deep right, also as a pull hitter by Singleton. The 3-1 delivery is line foul off to the left end. We're at 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Orioles and the Tigers, after they finish their series here tomorrow night, will look at each other quickly again, because when the Orioles begin a 2-week road trip next Monday, they begin that trek in Detroit. Hey, 3-2 now to Kemp. It is high, and he draws a leadoff walk in the Tigers' second. That's the first pass given up by Martinez, who had 2 strikeouts last inning and also gave up a big hit. May. Now a veteran major leaguer, Milt May, who's had quite a start in 1978. So good, in fact, he has been batting .342. He has hammered 7 home runs, and May has driven in 21. A left-hand batter and a pretty good hitter. Kemp at first base, held by Murray, and leading with nobody out. It is extremely high, and a ball to Milt May. Now, against Oriole pitching a year ago, Milt batted .280. Here's Martinez cutting loose, a late throw to Kemp's lead at first base. Milton Scott May out of Gary, Indiana. With the Tigers last year, batted .249 and played in 115 games. He takes a strike at his knees for a ball and a strike. Milt May cocks his bat perhaps higher than anybody else in the major league. And then when the pitcher goes into his motion, he begins to drop the bat, the hand stays set, and then he swings. The 1-1 delivery is high, ball 2 balls and 1 strike. I'd say maybe 4 to 5 years ago, and then all the years of his career beyond that, Yastrzemski held the bat extremely high, but not quite as high as Milt May does. The 2-1 to May, swings and sends a fly ball to straightaway center field, but shallow. Larry Harlow coming. It drops between Harlow and Belanger for a base hit. Not only was Harlow deep, but he was yanked around to right center field. The pop fly was into shallow center, so Harlow had to come in and come over, and the ball was in front of him and behind the retreating Belanger. So Martinez in a heap of trouble. 2 on, nobody out in the Tigers' second, and here's right fielder Tim Corcoran. That's hit number 2 off Martinez by the Tigers. Corcoran did not play last night. He's batting .241, and he is another left-hand batter. Timothy Michael Corcoran from Glendale, California. Kemp of the Tigers off second, and teammate May off first. And Martinez to the plate. He is under the knees, and that's the ball to Corcoran. No score in the game, but the Tigers now building a threat and trying to go ahead. Corcoran played 55 games with the Tigers last year, batted .282. He was in 39 games with their Evansville Farm Club, batting .346. On the 1-0 delivery, Corcoran sends a high pop foul beyond the Oriole dugout at third base. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here again is another one of the many young Tigers, 25 years old, who has played through the Tiger system in towns like Bristol, Lakeland, Montgomery, and then Evansville. For those of you that say week by week or perhaps just once a month get the sporting news, the next chance you have, you check the minor league ball clubs and see how well some of the Tiger minor league clubs are doing again this year. 1-1 to Corcoran. It is a strike knee-high, 1-2. Fellows in their lineup tonight like LaFleur, Whitaker, Thompson, Kemp, Corcoran, Trammell, they all came out of the Tiger farm system. Here's a look back by Martinez to second, to the left-hand batter, 1-2. Here's a broken bat ground ball to the right side, picked up by DeCinces, close to second for 1. Belanger to first is an Oriole double play. May out at second, DeCinces to Belanger, and then Corcoran doubled up at first base, Belanger to Murray. With 2 out, Kemp moves to third base, and here's Mankowski, Phil Mankowski. Against the left-hander Flanagan last night, they played Rodriguez at third. Against Dennis Martinez, the Tigers have Mankowski there tonight. Breaking ball, strike hand high to the left-hand batter. Mankowski batting .279. He stands pretty erect and right in the middle of the batter's box and does not spread the feet out at all. The 0-1 deal. Another breaking ball, and that's a strike on the swing by Mankowski. Philip Anthony Mankowski out of the city of Buffalo, New York. .276 with the Tigers a year ago. The 0-2 delivery is low, 1-2. Some of the infielders started to break to the third base foul line, and they thought perhaps that Dennis had that third call strike. Runners at third base, that's Kemp with 2 gone. The next delivery. And it almost got away from Skaggs. It was way inside. 2-2. Mankowski's another Tiger that's come through their chain. Bristol, Batavia, Lakeland, Clinton, Montgomery, and Evansville. The 2-2 pitch with 2 out is in the dirt, 3-2. This fellow Mankowski played nearly 6 years in the minors before receiving his first ticket to the majors. Kemp down the stripe at third with 2 gone. And Martinez into Mankowski with a breaking ball that he swings and strikes out on. And that's the last out in the top of the second. No runs, a base hit, and a man left. At the end of an inning and a half, Baltimore nothing, Detroit nothing.
Triumph. Some men are content with nothing less. They never go for bronze or silver. They go for the gold. The Danes have always been such men. Centuries before America learned of two-bore gold, their strongest horsemen would clash in fierce games of single combat. Each man rode to win the favor of the king, a prize of gold, and a crystal horn overflowing with the king's golden beer. Hundreds of years have passed since the Danes set out to brew the world's finest beer. Today, their triumph is two-bore gold, the golden beer of Danish kings. But two-bore gold has now won the favor of the world's most demanding beer drinkers, the people of America. Tonight, share with your friends the pleasure of world-famous two-bore. And wherever you go for the gold. Two-bore gold.
Two-bore Breweries Limited, Baltimore, Maryland. The Oriole homestand continuing with a single tomorrow night against the Tigers. And then Friday night, the Cleveland Indians are going to be here, and it'll be jacket night. That means all youngsters 14 and under, accompanied by a paying adult, will receive free an orange and white jacket that contains the team's colorful emblem or logo. So we hope that you'll, try to get your tickets in advance for Friday night's game against Cleveland. To avoid the, inevitable rush here at the ballpark, jacket night, Friday night, the Orioles against the Indians, game time 7:30. All right, Chuck, the Sensei, Crowley, and Dower now against the right-hander Slayton and the Orioles second. The breaking ball gives Slayton strike one to Doug. Doug was 0 for 3 against Billingham last night, and he's batting right now at 250. The right-hander's next delivery is a changeup a bit low. 1 ball and 1 strike. This Sensei resetting the seat now just a bit for the next pitch. It's inside, 2-1. Two-1 to the Sensei. Just outside and also low. 3 balls and 1 strike. Slayton had to come out of some early trouble in the ballgame last inning when the first 2 Orioles reached. And he did escape unscathed in the opening inning. 3-1 to the Sensei. Swings, and that's strike 2. Last inning, Slayton gave up a walk. Also struck out a batter, did not give up a run, no hit. Now it's Slayton just turning away from the plate with his back to the plate. He's just got a little bit of a problem. And let's leave it at that. The 3-2 to the Sensei. Here's a ground ball hit hard to the shortstop, right at Trammell. His throw is there in plenty of time to get to Sensei. 1 gone. Now tonight's Oriole designated hitter is the Crow, Gary Crowley. He is batting at .308 and has knocked in 4 runs. He's made a number of his pinch hits really count. And he's in the DH role in the opener tonight. Crowley, the left-hand batter, will take up the rear of the box. On the third pitch, Crowley watches it, and it becomes strike 1 call. As soon as we find out about Slayton and Crowley, we'll give you the station break for all the network stations. Now the next delivery of the Crow is high and inside. It's ball 1 and strike 1 to Crowley. Third baseman Mankowski pulled in a number of strides off the line. A changeup outside the mound and out to center field for the Orioles' first hit of the ball game. Crowley takes Slayton for a ground ball base hit to center to bring up Rich Dower.
Number 25.
Dower went hitless last night, and Dower's mark fell off a bit. He's now at 200. Let's pause right now for station identification on the Orioles Baseball Network.
This is WEAF Huntington.
Base runner at first base with 1 gone. Well, a late cut on a pitch, and strike 1 as Dower tried to take Slayton to right field. Now the sun peeking even more now through some overcast clouds. Crowley's got that one-out lead. Slayton is still peering into his catcher, Milton A. Ian Dow, eyeball to eyeball with one on and one away. Here's a ground ball towards short. Trammell's there. Flips to second for one. Whitaker goes to first, and the Tigers have an inning-ending double play. They turn it over 6-4-3. At the end of 2 full innings, Baltimore nothing, Detroit nothing.
The Electras have all washed and loaded, and you're on your way. You figured 300 miles the first day, but with all of Electra's luxury and room, you're out 400 miles before you know it. Not only that, but the EPA mileage estimates are 22 highway, 15 city, and 18 combined. That's with the standard 5.7-liter engine and automatic transmission. Of course, your mileage will vary depending on how and where you drive, your car's condition, and how it's equipped. And EPA estimates are lower in California. But it's nice to know that a car with as much prestige and elegance as Electra can also be efficient. Buick Electra, a car that can actually make you look forward to a long trip.
Thank you, really, I found you. The amazing thing to see. The stars are just so wonderful. Process of history. Little giant, little light, little giant.
Electra models are equipped with GM-built engines supplied by various divisions. See your dealer for details.
It took a long time for Bill and me to save for this house. We have a big investment, and it's reassuring to know we're covered with nationwide homeowners insurance with inflation protection. That means our house is insured at today's market value. We do appreciate our local nationwide agent telling us about that important feature.
Look in the yellow pages for your Washington area nationwide agent for blanket protection for your home, family, and businesses. Remember, Nationwide is on your side.
Well, out of a Tiger third, as the Orioles and Detroit have finished 2 innings without a score, it's going to be the shortstop, the number 9 batter in the order, Alan Trammell, and then LaFleur and Whitaker. Trammell sat out last night's game. He's in there tonight, and he's batting .318. Right to the front of the box. Swings and beats the ground ball to the glove side of the shortstop. The Lance is there, and on target with a quick throw, and Trammell becomes a quick first out. Trammell is down, and here comes LaFleur for the second time. Martinez got him for the game's first out on a third call strike. LaFleur leads the league in stolen bases, second in the league in runs scored, and he's tied for 8th in the league in total hits, of which he has 45. He has to back away from a letter-high fastball. 1 ball, no strike down to LaFleur with 1 away and nobody on. Martinez winds and works 1-0. He's down low with a breaking pitch. 2 balls and no strike. Well, an edge to LaFleur now, looking for his pitch on the 2-0. And here it comes from Dennis. Swings and fouls it. It's on the netting. 2-1. Each full year with the Tigers, LaFleur has showed steady, consistent improvement with the bat. His first full season batted .258, the next year .316, and then last year he shot up to .325. Martinez watching the wigwags of the catcher. Delivers 2-1. It's on the inside corner. He's got that strike 2 looking to Ron LaFleur. He's a native of Detroit. And next month he'll hit the age of 26. Martinez kicks and comes down, 2-2. Sidearm pitch, a swing and a foul tip for a third strike. And for the 4th strikeout of this first game, with Dennis Martinez. He dropped down and went through crossfire on the cut of LaFleur. 2 away in the top of the 3rd. And here's the second baseman again, Sweet Lou Whitaker. He grounded back to Martinez in the 1st inning. Whitaker built on the slender side and swings at the first base side of the plate. And there's a foul ball to the upper deck on the third base side of the park. The Tigers have an extremely young double play combination. Trammell, the first out of this inning, and this 21-year-older, Lou Whitaker. The strike 1 delivery is just a bit away. 1 ball and 1 strike to the left-hand batter. Whitaker not moving around in the box at all. Ready for the next pitch. And here we have it. Changeup. Out towards third. Glove side of Dower. He's there from the grass. He throws in time to get Whitaker for the last out. We're in the middle of the third of game 1. The Orioles nothing and the Tigers nothing.
Game 2 tonight will be pitched by the tall Oriole right-hander, Jim Palmer, and his pitching opponent will be Bob Sykes. For those of you, not too far away from Oriole Stadium in Baltimore, the weather has taken a sudden turn for the better around the city of Baltimore. Early this afternoon, looked like there'd be very little chance to play any baseball in town tonight. And the weather's just gotten progressively better as we move through the early innings of our first game of the Tri-Nighter. If you're not too far away, we invite you to join us. Bill?
Chuck Oriole catcher Dave Skaggs is thrown low outside by Clayton, ball 1. Now, Dave doesn't have too much of an average against the league this year, but he had a great average against Tiger pitching last year. The 1-0 is at the knees down the middle of the plate, strike 1. Against the league right now, Skaggs is only batting 100, 3 hits and 30 at bats. But against the Tigers last year, he batted .364, 8 for 22. The 1-1, strike again on the inside corner now, 1-2. There have been 2 hits off Clayton, or rather 2 hits off Martinez, only 1 off Clayton. Crowley owns that hit. Clayton, a right-hander, to the right hand whips the Skaggs. There's a high foul ball off to the right side that keeps the count at 1-2. Well, we invite all of you, or any of you, if you're in the neighborhood, to please join us here at the ballpark. It is turning out to be a most comfortable evening, and we're only in the 3rd inning of game 1. Clayton reaching in the glove, and down he comes with a high changeup, 2-2. The 2-2er right now to Skaggs. A breaking ball thrown hard and caught side. 3 balls and 2 strikes. On a playoff pitch, Dave Skaggs swings and fouls it back. We have a pretty big schedule, especially in the American League tonight, on which to report. But we will have to wait quite a spell before we bring you any of the other games. But this is the first game of 2. Fastball popped up to shallow right field. On comes Corcoran, the right fielder, runs it down in shallow right field. It was too far back for the second baseman to get, and Corcoran had to come in his own and speed in from right field to make the grab. 1 gone, Skaggs has been retired, and here's Larry Harlow. He walked to begin the Orioles in the bottom of the 1st inning. Harlow will be played right on the rim of the infield grass and wide of the line of third by Mankowski. He'll be played halfway at first by Thompson. Breaking ball, snaps in for a hand-high strike to Larry. Tigers nothing, Orioles nothing. We're playing in the Orioles 3rd. Fastball fanned out and a strike for Clayton. It is 0-2. Orioles have quite a few 300 hitters in the attack tonight. Harlow, 323. Kelly, 333.
Singleton 326, and Crowley 308. The 0-2 to Harlow. Fastball under the hands and belt high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Harlow out of a slightly open stance, ready for the 1-2. Changeup rolled toward short. Charged back of the grass by Trammell, and he throws out Harlow. Trammell had a routine play to make on the ground ball. 2 down, and here's Belanger. Got a life in the opening inning. Safe on the air by the second baseman, Whitaker. Mark Belanger. Each club has had a slip. And then the pitching of Martinez on one hand and Slayton on the other got tougher. 2 gone here in the third. There's nobody on. There's a high pop foul down the right field side. Being run down by Thompson, and they can't reach it. They took 1 bounce down the right field side on the cinder track and then bounced into the box seat. It looked like when Thompson first broke on the pop foul that he had an outside chance to get it. Instead, a foul strike to the half-cut of Belanger. And now Slayton just waiting a bit for Corcoran, the right fielder, to become reset. The 1 strike pitch. Here's the front. Towards third base, right on the line. Picked up by May, and he throws out Belanger. It stayed right on the foul line. May came out from behind the plate.
All right, the Tigers' 4th inning now starts off with one of the new restaurateurs from New York City. And that could be none other than Rusty Staub. Here's a hard line drive, ripped into right field for a base hit. That pitch was up and in on Staub, and he yanked it. A clothesline base hit smashed to right field. He now owns 2 of the 3 hits in the opening game off Martinez. Staub, runner at first base with nobody out, and here's Jason Thompson. He took a fastball from Martinez in the first inning for a 3rd called strike. Eddie Murray going along to the bag now to hold on Rusty Staub. The 3 hits so far off Martinez have all been singles. Here's a changeup low and away, and ball 1 to the power of young Thompson with Kemp to follow. I tell you, the Tigers present 4 pretty good stickers, one after the other. Staub, Thompson, Kemp, and May. The 1-0. Changeup, bounce past Murray and past second baseman to Sensei for a base hit to right field. From right behind the infield grass, first baseman Eddie Murray dove to his right side and couldn't reach it. The Sensei made a bid to his glove side, and he couldn't reach it either. And then it's gone to right field for another Tiger hit. Staub stops at second. Thompson takes over first. And here is left fielder Steve Kemp. Now in the Tigers' second inning, Kemp and May reached to begin the top of the second. And then Martinez got Corcoran the ground into a double play to come out of some trouble. He's got trouble again here in the 4th. 2 on, nobody out. Dennis would like to work, but he has to wait on Kemp to dig in. Kemp bending a bit from the knees and also from the waist. A runner at second, a Tiger man at first also, and here's a foul off to the left side, headed for the mezzanine, and strike 1 to Kemp. Kemp leads the American League in walks. He has 36 of them. The Tigers have played 36 games coming into this ball game, so he's averaging a walk a ball game. Murray halfway at first. DeCinces about halfway at second. Belanger slightly deeper at short and over towards the runner. And let's see where Dower's playing. Maybe 1 step back of the bag at third. Kemp has played to pull to right field. Martinez has checked in with Skaggs, looks back at Staub, and in he comes with a breaking ball in the dirt. Gets by Skaggs. It's off to his left side. He recovers quickly, and the runners have to hold. If the ball had bounced the other way, say to the first base side of the plate, well, maybe Staub would have given it a gamble. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now there is activity underway in the Oriole bullpen. Martinez watching the signs again of Skaggs. His 1-1 delivery comes to Kemp, who swings and doesn't get it. He took one of those big uppercut rips again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You have the feeling when you see Kemp swing that if he makes contact, the ball is never going to stop. Thompson away from first, and Staub ahead of that big young guy off second. The right-hand thrower to the left-hand batter, and Martinez works Kemp outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It is Tippy Martinez at work right now in the Oriole bullpen. We're in the top of the 4th inning. The game at the moment is scoreless. Martinez backed into a corner, delivers a changeup. Kemp starts to go for and holds back his swing. Skaggs appeals to the third base umpire Garcia, who claims that Kemp did stop the swing in time. So the count is full, 3-2. The last time out, Martinez did not get by the 3rd inning. The time before, he did not get by the 5th inning. Right now, he's trying to get out of a 4th inning jam against the Tigers. 3-2 to Kemp. Fouled upper deck. Still 3-2. Dennis Martinez has not won a ball game since May the 2nd, when he had that great 4-hit win against the Red Sox at Fenway Park. That was the game that he finished and retired the last 7 Red Sox batters in order, and won the ball game 3-1. Again, Staub gets all the lead he can at second, mindful that Belanger's right behind him. Thompson at first base has Murray behind his lead. 3-2 to Kemp is low to load the bases. Ball 4 to Kemp. He's at first. Thompson trots to second. Staub moves over to third. And moving into the batter's box, another pretty good Tiger hitter, catcher Milt May. That's the 2nd walk issued in this game by Martinez. He has walked Kemp in the 2nd, and now again on the 4th to load the bases. And he will be involved now in an immediate meeting with his pitching coach, Ray Miller, and also with his battery mate, Dave Skaggs. May, the batter, looped a base hit to shallow center in the 2nd inning. The Tigers got a man on with 2 out in the 1st inning, and then Dennis struck out Thompson. He gave up a walk to Kemp, a base hit to May in the 2nd, and then got the big infield help when Corcoran ran into a double play. The only trouble-free inning that Dennis has had was last inning, when he retired Trammell, LaFleur, and Whitaker in order. But the trouble is really surrounding him here in the 4th inning. May, a left-hand batter, will stand erect to the back line and cock that bat very high, right above the helmet. Martinez out of a full windup, and here he comes. May sends a ground ball towards second baseman to Sensei. A throw to Belanger, 1. A throw to first, they get a double play with Staub on the DT scoring from third base. So it's a 1-0 Tiger lead. May will not get credit for a run batted in as he bounces into a 4-6-3 double play. With Staub scoring, Thompson is at third base with 2 outs. I tell you, if Martinez can get Corcoran here for the last out and get out of this inning with only 1 run against him, he will indeed be squeezing on the rabbit's foot. Corcoran bounced into the double play in the 2nd inning. He is a left-hand batter in towards the plate. And Dennis is low and away to the left-hand batter. 1 ball and no strikes. Tigers 1, Orioles nothing. 4th inning of the 1st game of the doubleheader. Martinez looking and finding a sign. He comes with a 1-0 pitch for strike 1 call. 1 ball and 1 strike. On the 1-1 to Corcoran, the left-hand batter watches it high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike now. 1 run, 4 hits for the Tigers. No runs and just a 1 base hit for the Orioles. 2-1 by Martinez. The breaking ball bounced to the right side on one hop to Murray. Goes underhanded to Martinez covering, and that's the last out. So Martinez gives up a run with 2 hits and 1 man left on. In the middle of the 4th inning, Tigers 1, Orioles nothing.
Recognize that sound? It's the sound of the Washington area's used car sales depot. With so many makes, models, styles, and colors, it's like a used car factory. My name's Dave Kellogg, and if you haven't already guessed, the used car place is Ray and Vince Belvoir AMCG. Call 780-3000 and ask about their factory prices on used cars. Ray and Vince Belvoir AMCG, a mile north of Fort Belvoir on Route 1.
If it's sports action that you're looking for, you'll enjoy the Baltimore Orioles baseball game right here on 13.9 Wave. You'll get some of the best sports action. Following the game is the best in music. Put it all together, and you'll be listening to the best sound in town. So anytime and every time you hear the Baltimore Orioles baseball, you can bet that music follows the game. So stay tuned to 13.9 Wave, the station that keeps you in mind all the time. Yes, Wave is where it's at.
Well, Larry Beck, the Diamond of the Trophy game, is helping the Orioles sponsor Diamond Ring Day at the stadium on Sunday. Orioles and the Indians wrap up the homestand with a doubleheader at 2 o'clock. There's going to be a parachute jump between the games. And all the ladies, 15 and over, will receive a $5 gift certificate to Larry Beck. And they'll have an opportunity to win 1 of 5 valuable diamond rings. The rings will be carried by a parachutist, Pam Fowler, when she makes her jump. 4 of the rings are a quarter carat each with an estimated retail value of $600. Today's grand prize, a 3/4 carat diamond ring with an estimated value of $2,500.
Well, Chuck, here's Pat Kelly now in the Orioles 4th inning. Slayton and the Tigers holding a slim 1-0 lead. Kelly backs away on the pitch is inside low, ball 1. Kelly's only at bat in this game was in the 1st inning when he laid down a sacrifice bunt to advance 2 runners. Kelly, right on top of the plate. Here's a curveball for a strike at his knee. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jim Slayton was not the pitcher of record in his last Tiger outing. That was last Saturday with the Red Sox. Way inside again. 2 balls and 1 strike. In his last appearance against the Red Sox, Slayton came out in the 6th inning after giving up 11 hits and 5 runs. 2-1 to Kel. It's low, ball 3. At the moment, Slayton's only given up 1 base hit. He's walked a batter, struck out a batter, and is leading 1-0. 3-1 to Kelly. Here's a drive towards center field. LaFleur back easily, maybe 2 or 3 glides, and makes the catch. Let's pause for station identification on the Orioles Baseball Network.
This is WEAM Arlington.
Kelly guy, and let's bring up Ken Singleton now, whom Slayton struck out in the 1st inning. Bases are empty. 1 guy on the first one to Ken. It's low to Singleton in ball 1. The 1-0 pitch to Singleton. Swung on and missed, 1-1. The Slayton victories this year have come in 2 ball games against Seattle. He also has wins against Texas and the California Angels. He has retired Kelly here in the Oriole 4th. He has a 1-ball, 1-strike situation with a switch-hitting Singleton. Slayton kicks, delivers. Here's a high fly ball to center field. LaFleur is striding back, getting there once again, and LaFleur makes that play. 2 away in the home end of the 4th inning. Here's the power now of young Eddie Murray, who bounced out in the 1st inning. The Orioles have only had really 1 situation where they had a chance to jump on Slayton and get him into a lot of trouble. That was in the 1st inning. 2 away here in the 4th. First one to Murray. He swings, checks it, but not in time. Strike 1. Since the 5th of May, Eddie Murray has picked up 23 hits, and over that period has batted .348. The 0-1. He sends a high pop-up off towards third base. Mankowski through the coaching lines and foul ground, puts it in the glove, and that is out number 3. And we have finished 4 innings. Detroit 1, Baltimore nothing.
In today's active world, we work hard and we play hard. We try to squeeze every bit of living out of every second of every day. And we take Myadec from Park Davis, a high-potency vitamin formula containing 9 essential vitamins and 6 minerals. Myadec is available as tablets or capsules and in economical packages that can provide nutritional support for up to 250 days. Take Myadec.
Available at giant food stores.
Recognize that sound? It's the sound of the Washington area's used car sales depot. With so many makes, models, styles, and colors, it's like a used car factory. My name's Dave Kellogg, and if you haven't already guessed, the used car place is Ray and Lynn's Belvoir AMC Jeep. Call 780-3000 and ask about their factory prices on used cars. Ray and Lynn's Belvoir AMC Jeep, a mile north of Fort Belvoir on Route 1.
If it's sports action that you're looking for, you'll enjoy the Baltimore Orioles baseball games right here on 13.9 Wave. You'll get some of the best sports action. Following the game is the best in music. Put it all together, and you'll be listening to the best sound in town. So anytime and every time you hear the Baltimore Orioles baseball, you can bet that music follows the game. So stay tuned to 13.9 Wave, the station that keeps you in mind all the time. Yes, Wave is where it's at.
Tigers fifth inning now with third baseman Phil Mankowski. Dennis Martinez trailing in the game 1-0. His first pitch is too low to Mankowski. Mankowski's batted one time, and Dennis struck him out swinging in the second. It'll be Trammell and also LaFleur as well in the fifth. Next one to Mankowski. Ground foul right by the first base coach Trzaskowski. Here's a fellow who knows the great Sandy Koufax pretty well because for a couple of seasons when Trzaskowski played with the Dodgers, he was Koufax's roommate. The 1-1 pitch now. Tap foul off to the right of the plate by the left-hand batter. 1-2. Till a couple of years ago, Trzaskowski used to be the Tiger third base coach. The last couple of years, it's been handled by Fred Hatfield. Trammell's on deck. Mankowski is 1-2 with Martinez and waiting. Here comes Dennis with a curve. Strike 3, dropping in at the knees to get Mankowski on strike for the second time. That is also 5 scalps for Martinez in this game. Now to young shortstop Alan Trammell. He was a bounced-out victim to short in the Tigers' third. The right fielder, Singleton, is well to the right field line on the right-hand batter. Trammell at the front of the box, runs up to bunt, does bunt it off the foot of the plate umpire, Valtaggio, and that seems to bother him quite a bit. He is in some pretty bad pain. The third base umpire, Garcia, rushing down the line, as well as the crew chief on the first base umpire, Shylock, and Valtaggio isn't telling, Garcia to get away, but indicating to him, well, the best thing I can do is just stand around or try to walk around. And Ralph Salvon, very kindly, is also coming out of the Oriole dugout to see if he can be of any help to Valtaggio. Six hands, thank you, but I'll be all right. I'm just going to bite down on the lip and, take as much of the pain as I can, and they'll get out of here pretty quickly. All right, Garcia going back towards third, and also Nestor going back towards first. Strike 1 to Trammell, and 1 gone. Now the kick on the 1-strike delivery. Foul back on a half cut by Trammell. 0-2. Trammell came into tonight's first game, batting at .318. Not too bad for a young kid in his first major league season. Now an 0-2 pitch by Dennis. Strike 3 called, admired all the way by Trammell, and he leaves the box without a complaint. So Martinez made Mankowski look at strike 3, and Trammell the same thing. That's 6 now for Martinez.
Center fielder, Ryan LaFleur.
Here's the leadoff batter, LaFleur. That's the moment, Dennis Martinez has matched his strikeout high for any one performance this year. Breaking ball, that's a strike for Dennis. Dennis struck out 6 Boston batters on the 11th of May, and also 6 Milwaukee batters back in mid-April. His changeup is outside. Two got bases empty. The 1-1 pitch to LaFleur. Sidearm breaking ball, popped back, and out of play foul. 1-2. Dennis trying to close the door on LaFleur and also shut it tight now on the Tigers in the 5th inning. And as he started into his motion, LaFleur moved out of the box. Martinez to LaFleur, the right-hand thrower to the right-hand batter, just outside. Martinez began to depart the lower slope of the mound and head for the foul line. He thought for a moment he had that last strike. 2-2 instead to LaFleur. Dennis rocks and deals. Sidearm pitch. Rolled to the right side and through the infield for a base hit to right field. Martinez came into the hands of the swinging LaFleur, and he had enough strength in the swing to get the ball through the right side of the infield. A 2-out single for LaFleur, and it brings up second baseman Lou Whitaker. 5 hits now, and all have been singles off Martinez. Whitaker has grounded to the mound, and he has rolled out to third. He is a left-hand batter. Tigers batting in the 5th inning. They've got the speedy LaFleur at first base with 2 out, and they lead 1-0. And Martinez doesn't throw to first base, and nor does LaFleur cut down his lead as Dennis came off the rubber. He's watching LaFleur again. Turn, throws to first base, and LaFleur has to jump back to the bag. Whitaker tucked in fairly tight to the plate, and a bit to the front of the box. Skaggs setting an outside target. And the pitch is outside, but too much. 1 ball and no strikes. The only run so far this game was in the Tiger half of the 4th inning. The 1-0 pitch is low and away. 2 balls and no strikes to young Whitaker. Dennis Martinez, lifetime against the Tigers, has a win without a loss. But he had no decisions against the Bengals last year when he won 14 games with the league. A 2-0 pitch. LaFleur takes off. Here's the ground ball to the right of second base, and it hits the base runner on the foot. That'll be an infield base hit for Whitaker. LaFleur was hit by the ground ball on the foot, and that'll be the unassisted out credit hit to DeCinces. Whitaker with a hit, and the ground ball hits the runner for the last out. No runs, 2 hits, 1 left, and at the end of 4.5 innings in Game 1, Tigers 1, Orioles nothing.
Enjoy refreshing Coca-Cola with orange after passing maneuver in track. Was the singular insufferable for a while? We thought so. The new Electra at your Buick dealer now.
Hey, we hope that you are fully aware that there is a way to reserve Oriole tickets by using charge cards. Charge cards like Bank Americard, Visa, or MasterCard. Well, to get Oriole tickets here in Baltimore, you can use any one of those simply by calling 338-1161. And the Orioles ticket department will fill your charge order. Tigers in front in the opening game, 1-0. Clayton's been very effective. And now we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and here comes Chuck Thompson.
Thank you a lot, Bill. Good evening, everybody. Breaking ball from Slayton and a strike call to Doug DeCinces, leadoff hitter here in the Oriole half of the 5th inning. DeCinces in his lone at-bat tonight has been out on a ground ball to shortstop. The right-handed Slayton staring to Milt May for the sign. And he took long enough look so that the sensei got disenchanted and backed away. Now the one-strike pitch on the way. He's low outside with the ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Last year with Milwaukee, this fella Slayton got off to a whale of a quick start. As a matter of fact, he victimized the Orioles. He tossed a 3-hit shutout the first time out against Baltimore and beat us 5-0. Here's a line drive down on the left field corner. Racing over the left fielder, Kemp can't get to it. It bounces off the wall. He's playing the carom. The sensei heads into second base with a double. So the Orioles second baseman hammers one off the wall in the left field corner. Good for 2 bases. That will be for DeSensei his 9th 2-base hit of the year. For the Orioles, only their 2nd hit of Jim Slayton.
Designated hitter.
And now the designated hitter, Terry Crowley, who owns the only other Oriole hit so far. Slayton got off to a whale of a good start, but then kind of slowed down by the All-Star break. He was 7 wins and 8 losses. And then he hit the skids in August and went 0-5. The right-hander throws to Crowley. He started to go, couldn't stop the swing, and a strike comes up from the guy doing that job, Valtasio. 1 strike to Crowley. A year ago in the International League, Crowley had 30 home runs. Dead pull hitter is Terry Crowley to pitch. High and outside. A ball, a strike to the Orioles designated hitter, Lee May, getting a well-deserved rest here in the opening game of our doubleheader tonight. Again, if you're not too far away, come on out. We've got a 2 for the price of 1 and a very interesting Detroit Tiger Club to look at. Here's a ground foul down the first base side. A lot of promising youngsters in the ball club and youngsters who have made the discovery that all of them eventually make, if they're going to prove it in the big leagues. They've become aware of the fact that, by golly, I can play with the big guys. And once they got a little confidence, they settle down to becoming, outstanding major leaguers. It looks like the Tigers have got quite a few. Now the 1-2 pitch to Crowley. Here's a foul going to be out of play on the upper deck. I remember a year ago in spring training, manager Earl Weaver felt one of his biggest problems would be convincing a lot of the younger guys in the club that they could stand up to the Red Sox and the Yankees and play winning baseball. Well, Earl was right, and he did his job. And what a year the Birds had. Now the 1-2 pitch coming down to Crowley. Slayton, the right-hander, steps and throws. He's outside high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Ralph Houck has a harmonious blending of the young and the old on the Tigers. And if there is any kind of, an area that he's not absolutely sure of, it probably will be his pitching. Now the 2-2 offering. Breaking ball is hit high and deep toward the alley in left center. The center fielder and the left fielder converging. It'll be the center fielder LaFleur making the catch. Sagging after the catch to Sensei to third. And he makes it ahead of the throw from LaFleur. Crowley hit the ball with great power toward the alley in left center field. LaFleur, with excellent speed, caught up to it, made the grab deep in the alley, and cut loose a pretty darn good throw toward third, incidentally. The Sensei has moved to third with 1 out. And the batter now will be Rich Dower. Dower, in his first plate appearance against Detroit's Jim Slayton, hit into a double play. And now the Tigers, with 1 away and a runner at third, will play the infield up to the grass on the first base side, maybe a step back on the third base side. As Slayton now, with 1 out and a runner at third, throws to Dower. Swing and a miss, strike 1 to the bender. Dower really fooled on the pitch, had a very weak-looking swing. As a matter of fact, I suspect he was trying to stop the swing and just couldn't do it. So 1 strike pitch to Dower. Slayton ready to go again. He throws. A breaking ball is high, or 1 ball and 1 strike. Slayton is not the kind of a hurler that'll overpower you. He's a fellow that depends on throwing to spots with good breaking material and good changeup. Here's his 1-1 to Dower. He missed with a fastball. He's high and away with it for 2 balls, 1 strike. A strike to the Orioles third baseman, Rich Dower. The infield is up and 1 out. The pitch, high fly ball to shallow left, coming on the left fielder Kemp. He's got a long way to go. The Sensei tagging up. Kemp is still coming. Kemp is there, and they'll hold the Sensei right at third base. This was a kind of a pop-up under normal circumstances. You suspect the shortstop, Trammell, might have been able to go back and make the play, but Trammell was right up against the infield grass. Therefore, Kemp had a long run to get to a shallow pop for the 2nd out of the inning. Dower is gone, 2 away, and the batter will be catcher Dave Skaggs, who flied to right field in the 3rd inning. Well, the Orioles had runners at first and second with nobody out in the first inning, were not able to break through. They had a runner at first base with one out in the second and couldn't move it. Now with 2 out and a runner at third, the pitch to Skaggs is a strike over the outside portion around the letters. Boy, you talk about a fella contributing to the success of the Orioles a year ago. What about the great contribution of Dave Skaggs? The pitch. He bunts off the first base side. Gibberson plays the second baseman pick a throw. He's got him. Well, Skaggs tried to bunt him over and was thrown out by the second baseman for the final out of the inning. At the end of 5 is Detroit 1, Baltimore nothing.
Recognize that sound? It's the sound of the Washington area's used car sales depot. With so many makes, models, styles, and colors, it's like a used car factory. My name's Dave Kellogg, and if you haven't already guessed, the used car place is Ray and Mince Belvoir AMC Jeep. Call 780-3000 and ask about their factory prices on used cars. Ray and Mince Belvoir AMC Jeep, a mile north of Port Belvoir on Route 1.
Here's Lipton Iced Tea Lover, Don Merrick.
Hey, Don, how about you singing a song now?
Well, I'm not much of a singer, but I do know a little ditty about Lipton Iced Tea.
Must be a Lipton Tea Lover song, eh, Don?
Well, of course it is, because I love the refreshing taste of Lipton Iced Tea. Put me down a glass, would you?
Oh, sure, Don. Hey, what makes Lipton taste so good?
Well, they tell me each one of these little flow-through bags has a blend of about 20 different teas in it.
About 20?
Yep, it's the blend that makes Lipton the dandiest tasting iced tea I know.
Here you go, Mr. Lipton Iced Tea Lover.
Okay. Love that Lipton. All right, here we go. They call me the Lipton Tea Lover, 'cause Lipton makes dandy iced tea. They call me the Lipton Tea Lover, 'cause it's the tea-tasting tea lover's tea. Ooh-wee! Try it yourself and you'll be a Lipton Tea Lover like me. Ooh-wee! All right.
Well, here are some of the afternoon scores in the National League in case you did not hear them earlier. The Reds over Atlanta 5-4 in 10 innings. The Cubs beat the Phillies 6-4. And the Giants shut out Houston 2-0. All right, Chuck.
Here's Rusty Staub 2 for 2 against Dennis Martinez. Tigers 1-0 after 5, and ball is blown outside to Rusty. Staub a lot like Singleton in one respect. This fellow really knows the strike zone. And the 1-0 pitch. Martinez works, breaking stuff, missed again. 2 balls, no strikes to Staub. Rusty singled into center in the first inning and then ripped a line drive into the first base side in the 4th inning, and he has scored the lone run in the game so far. Martinez's pitch, low, ball 3, 3 balls, and no strikes. Martinez has walked a pair, has been touched for 6 Detroit base hits, and the 3-0 to Staub he takes. The strike is called. 3 balls, 1 strike. Rusty, a left-handed hitter, out in the middle of the box, chokes up on the bat 2-3 inches, great bat control. 3-1 offering coming on to Staub. Martinez's pitch, strike 2 called. Mark Blakens up in a very good area. Staub just took a look at it. Staub is talking to the plate umpire Voltasio about the pitch, and he doesn't seem to be beefing about it, just, 3 balls, 2 strikes, and now Martinez with the deciding pitch to the left-handed bat of Staub. Rocks over the rubber and throws. Fly ball, well hit, center field. Harlow going back on the warning track near the wall. He's got it. Harlow flags it down on the warning track against the wall from 395 feet away. After what Harlow did to Walkenfuss last evening in the ball game, anything he does now is going to be kind of, normal. He made just an absolutely stunning catch, and I'm so sorry that there weren't more people around to see that last night. Although there were some excellent pictures in the papers today of the Harlow catch. Just great pictures. Here is Jason Thompson, another power-swinging left-handed batter. Called out on strikes in the first, singled in the 4th inning. Martinez's pitch to Jason. Swing and it, strike 1. Power to power. The fastball from Martinez, and this time he got it by Thompson. Martinez ready to go again. Dennis has the sign from Skaggs, and his 1-strike pitch. High foul ball. Going to be out of play behind the plate in the upper deck. Martinez quickly now ahead of the hitter, 2 strikes. And now it gets a little interesting to see how Denny and the Orioles go about trying to finish him off. When a pitcher's got the hitter down 2 strikes, he should be able to go get him. And let's see what Martinez can do about it. Here's the motion and the pitch. He just missed high and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Infield cut around to the first base side, and the outfield around toward right, and they better lay deep to this fellow. Jace has hit 11 home runs so far. 31 home runs last year, but none against the Orioles. The 1-2 pitch. Martinez to Thompson. Line drive, takes a hop and hits the Defense on the shoulder, and he doesn't know where the ball has gone. It rolled into center field, and Thompson is on with a base hit. There was a line drive to the right side of Defense. He went over to try and make a backhanded stab, and the ball hit him on either the shoulder or the arm and carried him off out into center field. And Langer retrieved it. So Thompson down 2 strikes, gets away with a base hit off the arm of Doug DeSensei. And now we have Steve Kemp. Kemp has walked twice against Dennis in the 2nd inning and again in the 4th inning. Kemp now has 38 walks on the year and leads the American League in that category. Swing and a miss, strike 1 to Kemp. Tigers a good, solid hitting ball club. Team average of 287. Orioles hitting 254. Last night the Orioles shut the Tigers out for the first time this year. The 1-strike pitch. Strike 2 call. Hit the outer edge around the letters, and Kemp kind of shakes his head walking away from the plate. 0-2 now to Kemp. Well, a moment ago, Dennis Martinez had Jason Thompson. 0-2. Thompson is now at first base. And now here is Kemp with a count 0-2. 1 out. Tigers lead 1-0. Martinez steps and throws. He's blown away. A ball and 2 strikes. Martinez ready to work again. He checks with a look toward first base. Now comes to the plate. Here's a fly ball fouled into the seats down the left field side, and the count will hold at 1-2. Well, as we look out to the west now from our vantage point here at the mezzanine level around the stadium, get a little more sunshine, a little more brightness, and maybe the dubious forecast is passed us by. Here's a swing and a miss with a breaking ball, a flying pitch from Dennis Martinez, and Kemp goes down. That will be strikeout number 7 for Dennis. Catcher, earlier this year in a game at this ballpark against Milwaukee, he struck out 7 against the Brewers. Here comes Milt May. Milt had a single into center field in the 2nd inning and then was wiped out when Corcoran hit into a double play. In fact, the Oriole infield has turned to 2 double plays behind Martinez tonight in the first game of a doubleheader. The left-handed bat of May waits, and the pitch high and outside, ball 1 to Milt. But you get an image, a mental picture of Milt May at the plate as he steps in. Just stretch your hands way up over your head as far as you can and imagine a bat in him, and that's the way he looks before the pitch is thrown. And the pitch, breaking ball hit high in the air and not too deep to left field. Kelly coming hard, still moving. Kelly still going, and he can't get there. Drops for a base hit, and Kemp goes into, or rather the runner Thompson goes into third base, and second base will go Milt May. Well, it's not how hard you hit him, it's where you hit him, and right now the Tigers are hitting him where they're supposed to hit him. The left-handed hitter May is played to full by left fielder Pat Kelly. Kelly was rather deep and over toward the alley in left center field. And May just blooped it down into shallow left field near the foul line. Much too deep for the infielders to retreat on and much too shallow for Kelly to get to, even with his good speed. 2-base hit for Milt May, and now the left-handed bat of Tim Corcoran. Corcoran hit into a double play in the 2nd inning and went out first baseman to the pitcher covering in the 4th inning. Two down in the Tiger half of the 6th inning. They lead 1-0, and they have runners at 2nd and 3rd. And the left-handed bat of Tim Corcoran waiting. The Martinez pitch. Just outside, ball 1 to Corcoran. And the 1-0 curveball just outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Cochran is one of 15 current Tigers to come up through the Detroit farm system. Bill made a very good comment a little earlier. If you subscribe or look at the Sporting News, check on how the minor league clubs of the Tigers are doing. You'll find they're doing well. Now the 2-0 pitch coming down. Here's a fly ball hit into shallow left center. Kelly should make the play without any trouble. Backing him up is Harlow. Left fielder Kelly handles it for the final out. At the end of 5 1/2, Detroit 1, Baltimore nothing.
The day is done. The sun's last light is playing on the houses and trees. Your work is over. It's time to relax. Time to head for some good friends and the best tasting beer you can find. It's Miller time. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. When you call Roto-Rooter, you get an estimate, and that's it. No one expects a little extra, so you turn that estimate into a farce. You get a firm price and a fair price. That's the way we've done it for over 40 years. And we'll be around tomorrow to stand behind the work we do today. So the next time a sewer or drain gives you trouble, call Roto-Rooter with confidence.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and away goes trouble, get out the rain. Roto-Rooter,
Well, on Diamond Ring Day, and that's this Sunday, of course, some 1,000 specially designed Oriole rings will be given at random to the ladies 15 and over who come out to the ballpark. Late this afternoon, I happened to see Hank Peters' secretary, Merv Berkeridge, and Maeve had one of those rings on her pinky, and it was a very attractive ring indeed. There will also be 5 valuable diamond rings awarded to lucky winners, thanks to Larry Beck, the Trophy, and Diamond King of Baltimore. So that is Diamond Ring Day, and it's this Sunday as part of an Oriole-Cleveland doubleheader.
Larry Duck Harlow. Well, Larry Harlow, see if he can get something started for the Orioles. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Jim Slayton pitching a very strong 2-hitter for the Bengals. Harlow walked in the 1st inning, got around as far as third base, stranded right there, bounced to the shortstop in the 3rd, left-handed hitting to right-handed pitching. Fastball up and away, ball 1. After we see how Harlow is going to make out, we'll have a station break for those of you up and down the Orioles baseball network. Slayton rocks and throws. The right-hander swings, and there's a foul ball back up on the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Larry. Right-hander Slayton had, good success against the Orioles last year. 1-2, lost 1. Here now is his 1-1 offering to Harlow. Strike call, letter high in the inside corner. Just a good pitch from Jim Slayton. And the 1-2 offering, Slayton into the move, the pitch to Harlow. Breaking ball, hit in the dirt at the second baseman. Whitaker makes the pick up and throw to first. 1 gone in the Orioles 6th inning. And we'll pause for station identification. This is the Oriole Baseball Network.
This is WEAM Arlington.
A year ago, right-hander Slayton 1-2 and lost 1 against the Orioles. Pitch to Belanger, high pop foul, first base side, coming over catcher May. It may be in the seats. It is in the seats without a play. 1 strike to Belanger. His lifetime career record against Baltimore shows 7 wins, 9 losses, and Slayton lost his first game as a Detroit Tiger, 5-2 against Toronto. Then he's chalked up 4 straight decisions, all wins. The 1-strike pitch is too low to Belanger, a ball and a strike. 9-6 over the Rangers. He beat Seattle 5-4, also beat the Angels 7-4, and then beat Seattle again 4-2. Ball is low to Belanger, 2 balls and 1 strike. The 4-2 win over Seattle May the 15th is his only complete game of the year, and you look at the stats and you kind of think that maybe they scored a few runs for him, and they did. Here's a ball low and outside, 3 balls and 1 strike to Belanger. That's 25 runs in 4 starts. The 3-1 pitch is a ball 4 inside to Belanger, a run-out walk, and the Orioles have a base runner. This is the 2nd walk issued tonight by Slayton. The first one went to Harlow in the opening inning.
Left fielder,
Kelly called upon to sacrifice in the first inning. He did so perfectly. Then fly to the center fielder in the fourth inning. Kell went 0 for 3 last night in the brilliant two-hitter thrown by Mike Flanagan. Here is Slayton's pitch to Kelly. A little low and away, ball one. Good running Mark Belanger held by Jason Thompson at first base. Left-handed swinging Kelly, and the Birds have been nipping away at Slayton without a lot of success. They stranded 2 men in the first inning. The 1-0 is a ball low and outside to Kelly. 2 balls and no strikes. Got a man around as far as third base in the first inning and couldn't check him in. Had DeSensei at third in the bottom of the 5th inning, could not play him. DeSensei at third with only 1 out and couldn't get him in. That's how tough Slayton has been. Now the 2-0 pitch to Kelly, high and away. Fastball is going to tail off on that. 3 balls, no strikes. Time right now for a mound conference. Milt May is going to go out and talk to Jim Slayton. And they're meeting on the infield grass in front of the mound. Nick Baltagio, the plate umpire tonight, seems none the worse for wear for a real mean foul tip he took on his left leg a little earlier. Or left foot. Kelly waiting the 3-0 from Slayton. Here it is. He popped it right down the groove and a strike is called. 3-1. Mankowski, Trammell, Whitaker, and Thompson around the Tiger infield. Mankowski at third, Trammell at short, Whitaker at second. 3-1 pitch. Watching Belanger. The set, he's running. The pitch. Inside ball 4. And Belanger takes second base on the third walk of the game. The second this inning issued by Slayton. Belanger was going on the 3-1, and Slayton poured it down and in to Kelly, and he held back. So the Birds now have a 1-out set mounted, and this old ballpark is beginning to fill up with people. Every time I look around, a few more folks are arriving. The second this inning issued by Slayton. Belanger was going on the 3-1, and Slayton poured it down and in to Kelly, and he held back. So the Birds now have a 1-out set mounted, and this old ballpark is beginning to fill up with people. Every time I look around, a few more folks are arriving. Here is Ken Singleton. Slayton has stopped him the first 2 times. He struck him out in the first inning. Got him on a fly ball to center field in the 4th inning. Belanger, the runner at second. At first base, Pat Kelly, a couple of fellas who can motor right along, and the Tiger bullpen is going to be activated. Pitch to Singleton, swing, and a miss, strike 1. Crawford is warming in the Detroit bullpen, a left-hander. Crawford, the 1-strike pitch to Singleton, low for a ball. A ball and a strike to Singleton. Jim Crawford, southpaw, heating in the Tiger pen. Third runner, first and second, 1 out. Now the pitch to Singleton. He laid off the pitch that was low and inside, and Slayton now digging the hole a little deeper. It is 2 balls and 1 strike to Ken. The Red Sox just off a split with the Boston Red Sox in 4 games at Tiger Stadium. The 2-1 pitch to Singleton. Ground ball slowly hit toward the second base, and he's got it. The throw to second, that's 1 on. To first, they get another double play, and that will be the final out of the inning. Beautifully executed. Whitaker to Trammell to Thompson at the end of 6 innings of play. It's Detroit 1, Baltimore 0.
Enjoy refreshing Coca-Cola with all your outdoor activities and have a barrel of fun. Get a special barrel cooler for Coke. It's made of high-impact plastic, and it's insulated to keep cans and bottles of Coke cold. The barrel cooler holds ice in 2 6-packs of 12-ounce cans of Coke. It has a cover and a rope handle for carrying, and it's $19.95 by mail with proof of purchase of Coke. Look for details at stores where you buy Coca-Cola. Coke adds life to outdoor fun.
Details available at participating dealers. Stock up on extra Coke for the long Memorial Day weekend.
Enjoy refreshing Coca-Cola with all your
First race 1 p.m.
If it's sports action that you're looking for, you'll enjoy the Baltimore Orioles baseball games right here on 13.9 Wave. You'll get some of the best sports action. Following the game is the best in music. Put it all together, and you'll be listening to the best sound in town. So anytime and every time you hear the Baltimore Orioles baseball, you can bet that music follows the game. So stay tuned to 13.9 Wave, a station that keeps you in mind all the time. Yes, Wave is where it's at.
Phil Mankowski leading off with a swing and a high fly into center field. Harlow is amped under it, coming in a few more paces. Larry will make the catch for the first out. One pitch, one gone. And now Alan Trammell, who has grounded to short and struck out. There are two right-handed swingers in the batting order of Ralph Houk tonight. The top man, Ron LaFleur, and the number 9 man, this fellow, Alan Trammell. A lot of youth in the Tiger ball club. Trammell, a 20-year-old youngster, that's right, 20. Here's a breaking ball that picks up the outside portion for a strike. Trammell, first ball hitter in the third, bounced to shortstop, looked at the third strike call in the fifth inning. Martinez right back. The one strike offering is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tigers, 1 run on 8 hits. The Orioles, no runs on 2 here in the top of the 7th of game number 1 in Baltimore. Palmer against Sykes in the second game. Here's a line drive, takes 1 hop. Belanger plays that hop nicely. The throw to first is inside. Trammell is gone on a very well-executed play by Oriole Golden Glove shortstop Mark Belanger. A line shot to the left side. Belanger got to it, played that difficult hop and threw out Trammell. And here now, Ron LaFleur looked at a third strike, went down swinging, singled into right field, and then ran into a ground ball and was out for the final out of the inning of the 5th inning. Base hit went to Whitaker and the put out to the second baseman. The pitch to LaFleur, fakes the bunt, the pitch is in the dirt, ball 1. Faking the bunt, he just ran the hands up the bat, leaned in, took the pitch all the way. The 1-0 pitch on the way, swing and a miss, a ball and a strike to LaFleur. Martinez ready to go. The Oriole right-hander's pitch to Ron. Breaking ball, a little inside, 2 balls and a strike. Well, I guess many of you kind of gave it another ho-hum when you read the newspaper and discovered that the Oakland A's have yet another manager. Bobby Winkles just said, "I've had it," and left. Jack McKeon took over. Second time he's been manager of that ball club. There are 3 who have managed it twice. 2-1 pitch. Strike call over the inside portion of the knees to Ron LaFleur. 2-2. Two out of the inning, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ron LaFleur. Dennis Martinez against Jim Slayton in this opener. And runs have been hard come by. The 2-2 to LaFleur, a little high, so we'll fill the count 3-2. LaFleur with 18 stolen bases on the year has been thrown out only 4 times. The payoff, the 3-2 pitch to LaFleur. Here's a fly ball down the right field side. Singleton coming toward the foul line. Kenny is there with a good running grab to retire LaFleur and the Tigers at the end of 6 1/2. Detroit 1, Baltimore nothing.
Safeway Specials Day. Shop to save at Safeway every day. Safeway Specials, save more. Try them and you'll see. You'll find them all around the store. That's a guarantee.
Now there's something even better than Safeway's everyday low prices. Safeway Specials. Look for hundreds of these red Safeway special tags the next time you're in Safeway. And find extra special savings on national brand and Safeway S-brand canned goods, frozen foods, household items. Limited time Safeway Specials. They're even better than Safeway's everyday low prices. And another way Safeway helps make your food budget go further.
Shop Safeway for a special day. Got extra light, got the calories, all the taste.
never been a light beer like Pabst Extra Light Beer. Here are the facts. Fact, Pabst Extra Light is the first naturally brewed light beer with half the calories of our regular beer, so it's far less filling. Fact, natural brewing with no artificial ingredients make it pure beer drinking pleasure.
Pabst Extra Light, and the calories, all the taste, naturally.
Well, the Tigers are making a change at third base. Bill Mankowski is no longer in the ballgame, and that's Aurelio Rodriguez now at third base. Orioles need just one to tie, need two to go to head. Towards that end, Murray, DeCinces, Crowley, and Chuck Thompson again on the bottom of the seventh.
All ready to go with the left-handed bat of Eddie Murray against right-hander Jim Slayton, and he has really been tough tonight as Slayton, pitching just a heck of a ball game. The pitch to Ed Murray. It's a little bit low, the ball one as we start the bottom of the seventh inning. And again, if you're not too far away, we invite you to the ballpark. The Orioles and Tigers are playing 2 tonight. 1-0 to Murray. Popped him up high and toward the shortstop position. Back in the outfield grass, Trammell is moving around, and Trammell's got it for the first out of the inning. Murray pops to the shortstop, Alan Trammell. 1 gone in the last half of the seventh inning, and now Doug DeCinces. He's grounded to short and doubled off the wall in the left field corner in the fifth inning. And he is one of 2 Orioles to get as far as third base against the former Brewer right-hander, Jim Slayton. 1-0, Detroit leading. And they've had that 1-0 lead since the fourth inning. DeCinces started to go, held back in the pitch a little high and tight, ball 1. And the 1-0 pitch on the way. Slayton kicks and deals. He's outside this time. Working the ball up and down, in and out. Slayton has walked 3 men. He walked 2 of those 3 in the last inning. Behind to DeCinces now. 2 balls, no strikes. And here's his pitch. Swinging a ground ball up the third base side. Trammell, a fine backhanded grab. Throwing from deep short. He will not get DeCinces. Trammell got to a ground ball in the hole, made the backhanded stab and cut loose a desperate throw, but really had very little chance of getting DeCinces, who has an infield hit. His second hit of the ball game. And again, the Orioles have a man on base. They have had at least a man on in every night. But every time they get a man on, this fellow Slayton really goes to work. He's abused the Orioles to hit into double plays twice tonight. For that matter, so has Dennis Martinez. He's done the same thing to the Bengals. That incidentally, they scored their 1 run. Fourth inning. Milt May hit into a double play. Pitch out to Crowley, swinging a foul, going to be out of play. 1. Crowley singled to center field in the second inning. Fly to the center fielder, deep in the alley in left center in the fifth inning. 1 gone, DeCinces with the lead at first base. The pitch is high, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now Slayton ready with a 1 ball, 1 strike pitch. Jim Crawford, the left-hander, throwing again in the Tiger pen. The pitch, change up, but it's a little high. 2 balls and a strike. Cal Ripken coaching down the third base side for the Orioles, and Jim Fry is coaching the first base side. The left-hander now is Hiller, not Crawford. Now the 2-1 offering coming to Crowley. Oh, he missed again. Tried to get strike right around the outside portion of the letters and just missed. 3 balls, 1 strike. Now Crowley has got a pretty good pitch to hit. 1 out of the inning. DeCinces, the runner at first base. The stretch, the set, the 3-1 to Crowley. The runner goes, swinging a high fly into center field. Waiting for it out there is LaFleur. DeCinces finally picks it up as LaFleur makes the catch. Doug was looking around for a moment. He didn't pick up the ball. Looked toward his coach, Ripken, who helped him settle the issue. And Crowley is back in the dugout on a towering fly ball to LaFleur. Rich, the center field. 2 down, and now Rich Dower, who has hit into a double play and fly to left field. His first 2 turns against Slayton. Slayton shutting the Orioles out on 3 hits tonight. A single by Crowley in the second, a double by DeCinces in the fifth, and an infield hit by DeCinces in the seventh. Slayton to Dower. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike one. Tigers swing his curveball. And the one-strike pitch, check swing ground ball first base side will be foul. So quickly, Slayton has Dower in the hole, 0-2. Tiger right-hander, staring at Milt May for the sign. He's ready to go. His two-strike pitch to Dower is in the dirt outside the ball. John Hiller throwing in the Tiger pen. Earlier they had Jim Crawford up there. And the 1-2 pitch. Slayton delivers high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Dower hanging in, hoping to get something he can handle. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. DeSensei, the runner at first base. Bottom of the 7th inning, 1-0 Detroit. The set and the pitch. Struck him out. Swing and a miss. Dower goes down at the end of 7. Detroit 1, Baltimore nothing.
Hi, Al. Why the big smile? I just bought a Nationwide life insurance policy.
Nationwide, huh? How much did that set you back?
Come on. My local Nationwide agent showed me a plan that has the coverage I need, and it didn't cost an arm and a leg.
Yeah?
Look here.
All that coverage. Where can I find out about Nationwide life insurance?
Play the music, and the announcer will tell you.
Look in the yellow pages for your Washington area Nationwide agent for blanket protection for your home, family, and businesses. Remember, Nationwide is on your side.
Why are so many people buying Buick's new Century? Well, it depends on who you ask. Mr. Peter Grashoff.
Just what we wanted from a size standpoint, from a performance standpoint, you might say.
Then there's Mrs. Gillian Lee, whose teenage son was somewhat instrumental in her decision to buy a new Buick Century.
And I have a son of 16 who has very long legs. He's 6 foot tall, and he says it's the most marvelous thing he's ever got in and out of.
Also Mrs. Phil Jackson.
I like it because it's roomy.
And Mr. Jackson, who really can't begin to tell you all the reasons why he likes their new Buick Century.
I wouldn't know where to start. I really wouldn't know where to start.
And if that doesn't tell you a whole lot about Buick Century, Mrs. Genevieve DeLuca will.
We're very satisfied with it.
The way people are talking, it's hardly any wonder Buick Century is drawing a crowd. At your Buick dealers.
Well, at the moment, this is the only American League Baseball action going on. Later on, in single ball games tonight, the Indians at New York, the Red Sox at Toronto, the Rangers at Minnesota, the Royals in Seattle, the Brewers in Oakland, and the White Sox at Anaheim, California. We won't have any reports on any of those games until roughly about 40 or 45 minutes from now. All right, Chuck. Well, here's Lou Whitaker. Bounced to the mound, grounded to third, hit a ground ball that hit his teammate Ron LaFleur on the foot. And he got a base hit that way. Here's a strike at the knees from the left-hand swinging Whitaker. 21 years old is Lou. He's had hit now in 17 of his last 18 ball games. Dennis Martinez throws a hook ground ball base hit in the hole through to left field. So Whitaker opens the Tiger half of the 8th inning with a single to left field. That brings in Rusty Staub. Staub has gone 2 for 3 against Martinez. The Whitaker hit to open the inning is number 9 in the Tiger hit parade against Dennis. There have been a few dandies, but there have also been some robust shots. And now Martinez here in the 8th inning, trailing by a 1-0 count, has really got the meat end of that batting order to work his way through. Staub, Thompson, and Kemp. Tippy, Martinez, Dodd, Stanhouse are up in the Orioles bullpen. Dennis is ready. His first offering to Staub. He hit the strike over the outside corner of the knees to Rusty. And the one-strike offering to left-hand hitting Staub. Dennis goes to first base. Whitaker, Staub, Thompson, Kemp, May, Corcoran, all left-handed batters.
Rodriguez is now in the lineup. He also is a right-handed batter. There are 3 right-handers now. 1 strike pitch to the waiting stop. Martinez checks the runner and throws. High pop-up first base side. Waiting for it, second base is Sensei. And Doug's got it for the first out of the inning. 1 away in the Tiger half of the 8th inning. So now Jason Thompson. Thompson looked at the third strike of the first inning. Then yanked a base hit between Ed Murray and second baseman Sensei into right field in the 4th inning. Then in the 6th inning, he hit a scorching line drive to the right side of Sensei. Doug went charging over to try and backhand the ball. Took kind of a weird sort of a hop and hit Doug on the shoulder and carried him into center field for a hit. So he is 2 for 3 tonight. All ready to go. Martinez has pitched to Thompson. High and away, ball 1. Thompson stands. He's deep in the box, and his forward foot, the right foot, is very close to home plate. And then he kind of strides, just pulls that foot out of the way when the pitch is thrown. Now the 1-0 offering. Martinez steps, throws. Breaking ball hit high into center field. Larry Harlow is waiting for it out there. Now coming up. Wind is knocking it down, and Harlow gets to it for the second out of the inning. 2 down in the Tiger 8th inning. Batter now will be Steve Kemp. He's walked twice and struck out.
Left fielder, Steve Kemp.
Detroit here again tomorrow night. And incidentally, they've changed the pitching for tomorrow night. It will be Scott McGregor for the Orioles, but tomorrow night, Steve Baker is going to pitch for the Detroit Tigers rather than Jack Morris. Baker was just purchased from Evansville. Fernando Arroyo is gone. The pitch to Kemp is high and away for a ball. Steve Baker, right-hander, had a 4-0 record in 7 games for the Triplets, and he pitched to an earned run of 1.88. 21-year-old right-hander Steve Baker tomorrow night against the Scott McGregor. Runner goes, throws the ball to throw to second, is not in time. Whitaker is in with a steal at second, his 4th steal of the year. 2 balls, no strikes to Kemp. Pretty good pitch to go on. It was a breaking ball, and it was not the easiest kind of a chance for Skaggs to capitalize on, and Whitaker, with good speed, picks up his 4th steal. The 2-0 to Kemp. Martinez throws. That's a ball inside. 3 balls, no strikes. Just missed a little bit inside, right at the hand. Kemp now waiting the 3-0 pitch. Behind Kemp, another left-handed bat, Milt May. And the 3-0. High foul, going to be out of play in the upper deck, so young Kemp was green-lighted on the 3-0 pitch and fouled it away. 3-1. Kemp taking a little bit of a stroll around the plate as if maybe he kind of hurt himself somewhat on the swing. Dennis Martinez requesting another baseball from Vic Portaggio. Down in the Detroit half of the 8th inning, 1-0. The Bengals lead the Orioles. This is the first game of our Twilighter. Game number 2, Bob Sykes will pitch for Detroit and Jim Palmer for the Orioles. Kemp seems just a little bit uncomfortable. Now the strongly built left-handed bat is back in and ready to go, waiting. 3-0 pitch from Dennis Martinez. 3 balls, 1 strike. The set by Dennis for the pitch. Ground ball off the third base side of left field for a base hit. Around third, coming home. Here is Whitaker, and the Tigers lead by a score of 2-0. Left-handed bat of Steve Kemp hammers one through the third base side of the infield into left field. That plays Whitaker. Detroit 2, Baltimore 0. And the batter now will be Milt May. He looped the single to center field in the 2nd inning, hit into a double play in the 4th inning. That accounted for the first Tiger run. Then he doubled to left field in the 6th inning. Both of May's base hits have been painted, but they'll look like line drives in the box score tomorrow. This veteran is having just a great spring for Detroit. Here's his appeal play, a throw to third. They claim that Whitaker missed the bag. The appeal is denied by the man on the scene, Rich Garcia. Don Stanhouse, Tippy Martinez throwing in the Oriole bullpen. Denny Martinez has been touched for 10 base hits by Detroit, 9 singles and a double. And Dennis looking into the Oriole dugout, and Eddie Murray now has determined that skipper Earl Weaver wants him to hold with the runner Kemp in this 2-out situation with Milt May at the plate. Kemp with a pretty good lead. The set, and there goes Kemp. He's running. The pitch is taken for a ball. Throw to second base. He's going to be out at second base. The throw taken by Belanger, and Kemp is cut down trying to steal. At the end of 7.5 in game number 1, Detroit 2, Baltimore nothing.
In Denmark, centuries before Tuborg gold was known in America, one hunter each year took from the king a prize of gold and a crystal horn overflowing with the king's golden beer. For many hunters had set out with bows and arrows, hounds and hoes, but only one had returned in triumph, bringing the many-pointed antlers of the noblest stag in the forest. Hundreds of years have passed since then, when the Danes set out to brew the world's finest beer. Today, their triumph is Tuborg Gold, the golden beer of Danish kings. For in brewing, as in hunting, such men never go for bronze or silver. They go for the gold. Share with your friends the pleasure of world-famous Tuborg beer. And wherever you go, go for the gold. Tuborg Gold.
Tuborg Breweries Limited, Baltimore, Maryland.
And now, some candid, unrehearsed, but very welcome comments from owners of Buick's new Regal. Mrs. Lydia Rice.
Love it. I could not possibly be happier than I am with my new Regal.
Then there's Mr. Resch.
You're gonna love it.
And Mrs. Magruder, who's very brief but no less emphatic in stating how she feels about her new Regal. Think that. Buick's new Regal. It's everything people say it is, and it's grown proud at your Buick dealers.
Well, time's running out for those of you 16 and under to join the 1978 Junior Oriole program. The deadline is next Wednesday. Membership kits for just $2 are available at any participating Crown station. These kits contain coupons good for admission to the 9 remaining Junior Oriole games, plus many, many attractive items. And the next Junior Oriole ball game, by the way, will be this Saturday, May the 27th, when the Orioles play the Indians at 2 o'clock. Well, a fellow whom I don't think you could say had ever been in a star classification, but you can very definitely say one of the more popular Orioles of all time right now is about to make his first plate appearance of this season. And who is he? Elrod Hendricks, Bill. Elrod Hendricks. He gets a very warm reception. Elrod, every night, you'd come out to the ballpark when he was in his active career with the Orioles, and you'd find him around that box seat railing just signing autograph after autograph for all of the youngsters that came by. Always had a pleasant word to say to everyone, time to talk with everyone, and just one of the best liked of all of the Orioles. Here's the ball, one high and outside. Remarkable and very likable Oriole coach and now player, Elrod Hendricks. Left-handed swinger, and the 1-0 pitch to Elrod is inside for a ball, 2 balls and no strikes. Stanton holding the follow-through as if he felt, or Slate holding the follow-through as if he felt it should have been a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Elrod. Two balls, no strikes. Slayton throws. He's got a ball 3 outside. 3 balls, no strikes. Left-hander is up and throwing in the Tiger pen. 3-0 to Elrod. There's a strike at the knees in the inside corner. And let's see whether or not skipper Earl Weaver will have Elrod taking another one or whether he'll turn him loose in the 3-1. And the 3-1 pitch to Hendricks. He takes strike 2 call right at the knees. 3-2. Deep. Now the 3-2 pitch. Slayton all ready to go. He delivers. High pop-up out in the shallow center. Backpedaling to shortstop Trammell. Trammell is there, and he makes the catch to retire Elrod for the first out of the 8th inning. 1 gone. Now the Hawk, Larry Harlow, who has walked, grounded to short twice against Slayton. Slayton working on a 3-hitter against the Orioles. offering hits a little high for a ball. In the on-deck circle right now, Lee May. Slayton's 1-0 to Harlow. Little inside the ball. 2 balls, no strikes to the Hawks. And a 2-0 to Harlow. Strike is called. 2 balls and 1 strike. Slayton let up a little bit to get this one over. Hawk was taking. Doyle Alexander pinned a 3-hitter on the Orioles. May the 3rd here in Baltimore. The 2-1 pitch. Swinging a line drive towards center field. LaFleur coming over to the right hand. He doesn't get it. He bobbles the ball and caroms away from him. Hawk is going to second base, and he is in safely at second base. Sinking, fading line drive. LaFleur never made the play and then kicked the ball. And it rolled into the alley in left center field, and Harlow has a double. That was a line drive, sailing and sinking. LaFleur got to it and could not make the play. And before the pitch hitter is introduced, we'll pause for station identification. This is the Oriole Baseball Network.
This is WEAM Huntington.
Well, the pinch hitter will be Lee May. Lee is hitting .245 for the Birds with 8 home runs and 30 runs batted in. The Slayton pitch, swing, and a foul ball right at the dirt of the plate. And this one also got plate umpire Vic Voltaggio in the same area that he was struck earlier. And he flips the ball back to Milt May and says, let's get rid of that one. I don't think it's worth anything. Voltaggio got nailed with a foul ball earlier tonight, and it really gave him a heck of a jolt, and he apparently just got another one in the same general vicinity. 1 strike to Lee May. I guess there are nights like that. Now the 1-strike pitch. Slayton to pinch hitter Lee May, batting for Belanger. Ground ball hit off the first base side. Down to third goes Harlow. The second baseman Whitaker makes the pick up and throw to get Lee May for the second out of the inning. 2 down and a broken bat ground out to the second baseman Whitaker. Taking third to the play Harlow, and to the plate now the left-hander Pat Kelly, who sacrificed for the first inning. Since that time has fly to center and walked. Kelly. 2 down. Detroit 2 runs on 10 hits. The Orioles no runs on 4 hits. Well, Kelly requests time and backs away. And the pitch. Swing on a line drive down to the left field corner. If it stays fair, it's going to help out the fair ball. In the corner, deep left. Harlow has scored. Going for second, Kelly. He's in safely. It is a 2-1 ball game. Kelly doubles down into left field corner, plating Harlow with the Orioles' first run, and the major, Ralph House, is on his way to the mound, and he's already pointed to the bullpen in left. He apparently is going to get the last guy I saw working out there, John Hiller. And as the new pitcher makes his way to the mound, let's pause for this message.
If it's sports action that you're looking for, you'll enjoy the Baltimore Orioles baseball games right here on 13-9 Wing. You'll get some of the best sports action. Following the game is the best in music. Put it all together, and you'll be listening to the best sound in town. Anytime and every time you hear the Baltimore Orioles baseball, the music bet that music follows the game. So stay tuned to 13-9 Wing, the station that keeps you in mind all the time. Yes, Wing is where it's at.
Well, here in Baltimore tonight, the Tigers are playing in their 37th game of the year, and they bring on for his 15th appearance of the year the super ace of the Tiger bullpen, John Hiller. Hiller, in the 14 previous appearances, has worked 32 innings. He has given up 24 base hits, only 9 earned runs, while striking out 27. Hiller's earned run average is 2.5 runs a game. He has 3 wins, 4 saves, and 1 defeat, and picks up the Tiger starter, right-hander Jim Slayton, who has pitched just a great ball game. In fact, until this inning, Slayton had only given up 3 base hits, 2 of them to DeCinces, the other one to Crowley. And one of the 2 delivered by DeCinces was an infield hit. But here in the 8th inning with a 2-0 lead, Slayton did get the leadoff man, the pinch hitter Hendricks, on a pop-up to the shortstop. Then Harlow doubled. He got the pinch hitter May to ground out on a broken bat bounce to the second baseman. Harlow advanced the base as May was out number 2. Kelly has just cashed in Harlow with a double to the off-field, bouncing off the wall and left, and in the process has driven out Jim Slayton. Ken Singleton the batter, and they'll make Ken now turn around and bat from the third base side of the plate against Mr. Hiller. What Sparky Lyle has been for many years to the Yankees, in some similar respect, John Hiller has been to the Tigers. They're a late-inning stopper and a good left-hander.
How true, and here is Ken Singleton against John Hiller with 2 down in the bottom of the 8th, 2-1 Detroit. The Orioles finally get on the board. Slayton, the starting right-hander, did an outstanding job. And now the left-hander's first pitch to Singleton. A little low, ball 1. Singleton from the third base side is not hitting nearly as well as he is the left-hander, of course. He has batted many fewer times, hitting 167 as a right-hander. Pitch started to go, held back, and it's inside for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes to Ken Singleton. Early in the year, the problem was the weakness in the right arm and the right elbow because of surgery. The arm is getting much stronger. Singleton is throwing a whole lot better, and he just needs to work a lot more as a right-handed batter. Kelly at second, 2 down, 2-0 pitch to Singleton. Here's a line drive, base hit to left field. Kelly is around third. He is going to score. We have a tie ball game. Knocked in his second run of the year as a right-hander. His 17th on the year. It is now a 2-2 tie, tied at runner Carlos Lopez, who is coming out of the Orioles dugout and will now go down to first base and run for Ken Singleton. Lopez will run at first base. And here now is Eddie Murray. Murray has gone 0 for 3 against starter Slayton. John Hiller, the left-hander, gives up the base hit to Singleton that ties the game 2-2. And another game will follow this, Palmer against Sight. Hiller's pitch to Ed Murray is a breaking ball inside and low to ball 1. Now, Eddie is a right-handed batter. He's hitting a lot better average-wise than he is as a left-hander. He's hitting .339. Other than that, the stats are almost even from both sides of the plate for Ed Murray. Now the 1-0 pitch to Eddie. He started to go, tried to stop the swing and couldn't get it done. A ball and a strike to Ed Murray. Murray has, as a left-hander, 3 doubles. As a right-hander, 3. As a left-hander, 3 home runs. As a right-hander, 3. As a left-handed batter, 14 runs batted in. As a left-handed batter, 14. As a right-hander, 10. He's just about dead even in all respects, except average. Pitch coming to Murray, swinging him in. A ball and 2 strikes down to him. Hiller with a good assortment of breaking stuff. Boy, I'll tell you, this fella has his smarts. He knows what he's doing. The stretch to the set. First baseman Ed Murray. Lopez running for Singleton at first base with 2 down. And the 2-2. Hiller throws. Ground foul. This one beyond the Orioles dugout. Murray waiting now, the 2-2 offering from John Hiller. The left-hander checks first, throws. Lopez runs. Here's a check swing. Line drive, foul ball. Just foul. Down the third base side. Murray was checking the swing. He hit a soft line drive over the head of the leaping third baseman Rodriguez. And it was fouled by, 5-6 inches, something like that. From up here, it's hard to say. But it doesn't make any difference, does it? Whether it's an inch foul or 3 feet. Murray just tried to stop the swing and didn't get the bat out of the way, and caromed off the bat and was just fouled down the third base side. The way Lopez can travel, it could have been a very interesting hit had it been fair. Now the set, the 2-2 pitch to Murray. Struck him out. Swing and a miss. Murray goes down at the end of 8 in Baltimore's first game. The Orioles 2, the Tigers 2.
You called it a day. Before you call it a night, you gotta do some serious relaxing. You gotta take the time to appreciate the difference between a good beer and a great beer. That's Miller Time. And that's what Miller Time is all about. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855. If you have the time, if you got the time, you got the
Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Recognize that sound? It's the sound of the Washington area's used car sales depot. With so many makes, models, styles, and colors, it's like a used car factory. My name's Dave Kellogg, and if you haven't already guessed, the used car place is Ray and Vince Belvoir AMC Jeep. Call 780-3000 and ask about their factory prices on used cars. Ray and Vince Belvoir AMC Jeep, a mile north of Fort Belvoir on Route 1.
If it's sports action that you're looking for, you'll enjoy the Baltimore Orioles baseball games right here on 13-9 Win. You'll get some of the best sports action. Following the game is the best in music. Put it all together, and you'll be listening to the best sound in town. 20 time and every time you hear the Baltimore Orioles baseball, you can bet that music follows the game. So stay tuned to 13-9 Win, the station that keeps you in mind all the time. Yes, Wave is where it's at.
Well, due to the pinch hitters and a pinch runner, these defensive changes now for the Orioles as the Tigers swing in the ninth. Kiko Garcia's at shortstop for Belanger. It's Carlos Lopez in right field for Singleton. And it's Elrod Hendricks back of the plate to take charge of Dennis Martinez. All right, Chuck.
Well, we're ready to go. It'll be the left-handed swinging Milt May against Dennis Martinez. May has singled, hit into a double play, and double. 2 runs, 6 hits to the Orioles. 2 runs, 10 hits to the Tigers. And the Martinez pitch, high and outside, ball 1. A little bit of a breeze here at the stadium tonight. Seems to be coming in over the left field portion of the ballpark. Going from left toward right, in other words. And the Martinez 1-0 to May. Here's a drive in the alley in left center field. Pat Kelly going over to cut it off. He gets it on the first hop. May has his third hit of the ball game. A line single in the alley in left center. And the Tigers now have 11 base hits off right fielder Dennis Martinez. Here is Tim Corcoran, the right fielder. Corcoran hit into a double play. Went out first base to the pitcher covering. And then slide to left field. Steve Dillard is coming out as a runner for Milt May. Dillard will run for Milt May.
Running for Milt May, number 7, Steve Dillard.
Chippy Martinez, Don Stanhouse are up in the Oriole bullpen. Corcoran, left-handed bat against the right-handed offerings of Dennis Martinez. And the bunt is right off the first base side of the mound, fielded by the pitcher. The throw goes to first base where DeCinces covers. And on the sacrifice bunt, Corcoran advances Dillard to second base. 1 gone to the top of the ninth, and the batter will be Aurelio Rodriguez. This for Rodriguez, his first trip to the plate. Last night he went 0 for 3, struck out twice.
Third baseman, Aurelio.
And at the moment, Rodriguez is hitting .299. Veteran third baseman for the Bengals. This fellow's got some kind of an arm. Here is Rodriguez. 1 gone. Runner at second base, Steve Dillard. And the Martinez pitch to Aurelio. No, Martinez breaks contact with the rubber. And that checks the runner back to the bag at second base. A lot of people from Detroit here at the ballpark tonight. Now the set by Martinez, the pitch to Rodriguez. Ground ball, base hit right through the middle into center field. Here is Dillard around third. He's coming home, and the Tigers lead by a count of 3-2. This one hit right by pitcher Denny Martinez. Over the bag and right through into center field for a base knock, and Earl Weaver is now on his way, and it might be all for Dennis Martinez. It looks as though Earl is going to go get Don Stanhouse out of that Oriole bullpen down in the left field corner. That is the story. So Denny Martinez is through, and Don Stanhouse is summoned. And as the new pitcher makes his way to the mound, let's pause for this message.
If it's sports action that you're looking for, you'll enjoy the Baltimore Orioles baseball games right here on 13-9 Wave. You'll get some of the best sports action. Following the game is the best in music. Put it all together, and you'll be listening to the best sound in town. So anytime and every time you hear the Baltimore Orioles baseball, you can bet that music follows the game. So stay tuned to 13-9 Wave, the station that keeps you in mind all the time. Yes, Wave is where it's at.
Well, Dennis Martinez has just rushed off the mound, and his rescue will come right-hander Don Stanhouse. Dennis Martinez leads the field, trailing by a score of 3-2. He has retired one batter here in the ninth, giving up 2 hits and a go-ahead Tiger run. So Dennis works 8 and 1/3 innings. Charged with 3 runs his job, 19 and 2/3 innings. He has given up 12 base hits. He has walked 17 in 19-plus innings, while striking out 13 batters. He'll come aboard now to face Alan Trammell, the last batter in the Tiger order. Trammell was unsuccessful against Martinez, going 0 for 3 and failing to take Martinez out of the infield. The Tigers have a lone base runner, that's Rodriguez, who in his first plate appearance of the ballgame after moving to third base in the 7th inning, has just singled to center field to score the pinch runner Dillard, to break a 2-2 tie, and to return the Tigers now into the lead. Totals at the moment, the Tigers 3 runs, 12 hits, and 1 error. And the Orioles 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. Although the Tigers are still batting, we should remind you that 2 to bat in the bottom of the 9th inning are Despense, the left-hand batting Crowley, and Dower. All ready to go. Alan Trammell will be the batter against Don Stanhouse. Detroit 3, Baltimore 2, top of the 9th with 1 out. Runner at first base, the run producer of a moment ago, Aurelio Rodriguez. And Don Stanhouse, 7 saves and 15 relief appearances, 0-3 on the year is Don. And now Trammell, waiting for the first offering from the Berg reliever, and here we go. Stanhouse hits the set, a head bomb, another one. And he delivers. Missing low and outside, ball 1. Stanhouse working to shortstop Alan Trammell. Checks the runner Rodriguez controls. Here's a ground ball, third base side. Dower has right on the bag, recovers, and his only play is first base. Just in time to get Trammell. The ball hit very sharply right on the bag, and as Dower got to it, the force of the ball kind of knocked him off balance a little bit, and he went down on one knee, almost sitting on the bag at third. He had no chance to get Rodriguez at second base, and made a very good throw to get Trammell. So Rodriguez goes to second base. Trammell retired on the ground ball to third baseman Dower. That's a pretty good play from Rich. And here now is Ron LaFleur. LaFleur has looked at a third strike, went down swinging, singled, and hit a line drive. The right fielder singled and flagged down in the 7th inning. Right now, the right fielder is Carlos Lopez, infield. The first offering to LaFleur, rolled away, ball 1. Infield is cut around a bit to the first base side. The outfield is around toward right. LaFleur has hit 4 home runs this year. Lead is second by Rodriguez with 2 out. And Detroit leading 3-2. Stanhouse works a 1-0 swing and a miss. And now they indicate a foul tip. 1 ball and 1 strike.
the on-deck circle. And he's a guy that Stanhouse really doesn't care about seeing at all. He'd rather get LaFleur right now. Stanhouse ready to go. And the right-hander's 1-1. Ground foul right off the third base side. We've got it at ball and 2 strikes. All ready to go. Stanhouse looking to Elrod Hendricks, who's in behind the plate right now. Rodriguez, the runner at second with 2 away. And the 1-ball, 2-strike pitch to the right-handed bat of LaFleur. Stanhouse throws. Just missed low and outside, so it'll now be 2-2. Bob Sykes will pitch the nightcap for the Detroiters. And Jim Palmer will do that for the Orioles. Tomorrow night, Steve Baker against Scott McGregor, whose last 2 outings have just been dynamite performances. Now the 2-2 pitch. Inside and high. Ball 3. 3-2. Speaking of dynamite performances, I know the weather was kind of, tacky, but wow, you should have seen Flanagan last night. 3-2. The count to Ron LaFleur. Stanhouse is ready to work. He checks the runner and delivers. Ball 4, low and outside, and Stanhouse looks longingly toward the plate. Lou Whitaker now will approach the dish. Whitaker tonight has 2 hits in 4 trips and scored a run, stolen a base. Whitaker. A lot of Detroit fans sitting down behind the Detroit dugout on the first base side here in Baltimore. Enough so that although I have not inquired, I suspect that perhaps there might be some sort of a tour with the Tigers here in Baltimore. We certainly hope that they enjoy their stay in Baltimore. Here is Whitaker, a left-handed swinger, and Stanhouse's first offering to Lou, a little low for a ball. Milt May opened the inning with a line shot single in the alley in left center field. Dillard came on to run. Corcoran sacrificed Dillard to second base, and Rodriguez in his first at-bat tonight singled to center to break a 2-2 tie. The pitch. Swing and a ground foul right at the plate. And we've got a count of a ball and a strike. Then Stanhouse was summoned. He got traveled on a bouncer to third, while Rodriguez took second, has just given up a walk to LaFleur. And now battling Lou Whitaker with a count of ball and a strike. Chippy Martinez is throwing in the Oriole bullpen with 2 down in the Tiger half of the 9th inning. Game 1. Another one to follow this. Now the 1-1 pitch. Stanhouse works. Ground ball hit right at the shortstop Garcia. He's got it, throws to second. That's the fourth of LaFleur coming down. It was kind of close to that. At the end of 8 1/2, Detroit 3, Baltimore 2.
When you shop at Giant, we want you to feel like the most important person in the store. That's why we treat you like company. Your satisfaction is a must. So come on in. You're a guest in our home. Welcome, and count on us.
Recognize that sound? It's the sound of the Washington area's used car sales depot. With so many makes, models, styles, and colors, it's like a used car factory. My name's Dave Kellogg, and if you haven't already guessed, the used car place is Ray and Vince Belvoir AMC Jeep. Call 780-3000 and ask about their factory prices on used cars. Ray and Vince Belvoir AMC Jeep, a mile north of Fort Belvoir on Route 1.
With New York tag, 7. Well, we've got the pitchers in for the Red Sox game at Toronto. Mike Torres for the Post Sox tonight. Dave Lemantic to go for the Blue Jays. No report yet on the Indians at New York. And later starts in the league will be Texas at Minnesota, Kansas City at Seattle, Milwaukee at Oakland, and Chicago at California. Now there's a partial change in the Tiger battery. Parrish now becomes the catcher, so Milt May out of the game. as Myers is struck in back of the plate. All right, Chuck. Well, the Orioles are down a run in the bottom of the ninth inning. It'll be Doug DeSensei to lead off. The new batter behind him, designated hitter Terry Crowley. And behind Crowley, Rich Dower. John Hiller gave up the base hit to Ken Singleton in the eighth inning to tie the ball game at that time, 2-2, and then struck out Ed Murray to end the inning. Here's this pitch to Doug DeSensei. Ground ball hit to the right side of the shortstop. Trammell is there. Makes the pickup and the throw to first. One gone in the bottom of the ninth. One up and one down, and now rather than Crowley, we're going to get the right-handed bat of Rick Dempsey. Rick Dempsey will bat for Terry Crowley. Dempsey, one of the heroes in Flanagan's brilliant two-hitter last night, with his first home run of the year. And before he steps in, we're going to step out and pause briefly for station, and they're going to change the pinch hitter, too. It's not going to be Dempsey. It's going to be Andres Mora. Andy Mora will bat rather than Dempsey. Pausing for station identification, this is the Oriole Baseball Network.
This is WEAF Arlington.
Here is Andres Mora, recently recalled from Rochester. 3 ball games, been to the plate 9 times with 2 base hits, hitting .222. And he will be the pitch batter for the designated hitter, Terry Crowley. So Andres now becomes the designated hitter. Hiller ready to go on the left-hander's pitch. Oh, an inside ball 1. And the 1-0 pitch to Mora. He started to go, held back in the swing. A strike is called. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hiller working to Mora. Low and inside. 2 balls and a strike. Hiller in relief of the starter, Jim Slayton. Slayton went the first 7 2/3. The 2-1 pitch to Mora. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Against Slayton in 7 2/3, the Orioles picked up 5 base hits, walked 3 times. Slayton had 2 strikeouts and was charged with the 2 Oriole runs. 2-2 to Mora. Struck him out. And Mora goes down. 2 out. And now Rich Dower is the last bit of hope for the Orioles. Dower is hit into a double play, fly to left and struck out. The Birds are down a run. 2 out of the bottom of the ninth, and Dower has got to do something, or the Tigers back off the first game of the doubleheader. The pitch to Dower. Strike of the knee to the inside portion. And right back. Foul ball up the screen behind the plate. 0-2 now to Rich Dower. Hiller has won 3 and lost 1 so far this year. He throws. High fly to shallow center. LaFleur coming out. The shortstop going back. LaFleur, the center fielder, says he's got it. Makes the catch. The ball game is over. That's it. Tigers win it 3-2. Bill will be back with a recap for you right after this message.